Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you're well. This is Yogi here. Right. Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock. And apologies for yesterday. I've got a pretty fragile partner lying not very far away from me as we speak. So yesterday I took a day break and just, kind of put on my role as a nurse and tending for a patient in need. So far so good, not to worry. So thank you for all your well wishes. Everything's good. So yes, I have to face the reality here with this piece, GeckoRouge. This piece is this artwork is created by Collin, Thompson, and the piece is called Craft Cupboard. And I fell in love with this piece the moment I saw it from GeckoRouge. So if you're not familiar with GeckoRouge, it's a UK-based company. They specialize in kits. They do not sell patterns and or anything else. Everything comes in a kit with fabric, floss, charts, everything. Okay. So I got this pattern, this kit, I think I checked the date. It was the January of 2023. I think I placed an order kind of a Christmas before, so Christmas of 2022. So it's close, 2.5 years, close to 3 years. And I've been working on it steadily. And it's a massive piece. If you think regular size or super size Haid, this is bigger than a super size. So it's quite an adventure to embark. And back in 2023, to be honest, I was a newbie of full coverage. I was getting ambitious. It was around the time I started doing buying patterns from Haid as well. Maybe just a couple months before that. In the late 2023, and I've been working on it since. And some of you regulars might have heard bits and pieces about this piece recently in terms of the development here. And if you have sad music, you can hit that play button now. You have to come with your own background music. I haven't got any. And the sadness is all in my heart. So what happened here? I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is the sort of print comes with the kit. It's beautiful, right? And I'm going to pull it aside just now and show you what I've got here on this fabric. So this is a fabric that came with a kit. It's massive. It's a blanket size, really. And here we are. Okay. This is as far as I can zoom out. So I am going to just, show you the bits I've actually stitched on. So this is about maybe, if you look at this part, the quarter that I've got here is 4 times as big, obviously. So it's big enough to be a blanket. So as the title suggests, I broke it. I broke it. And I want you to look at the complete area here. And the reason I was quite confident that none of you can probably figure out what happened to this piece, why it's broken. Okay, so this is your, probably another opportunity to look at it and maybe you can figure something out, but I doubt it. I don't think you can. So you might look at this piece and go, this looks fine. I started from upper left. And let me just tell you a little bit. From upper left, working from here, I think initially I was working block by block, like a good girl. And at some point, I started to embark on cross-country, mini cross-country, and it's been fine. It's been working steadily, diagonally. roughly, okay, and this is as far as I go. As the width, it's almost reaching the quarter, of the width there. And I just want to look at the chat and say hello. I still have my manner. As sad as I am, I have my manner here. So I just want to say hello and also give you a chance to look at it. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'll give you maybe a few moments. See if you can figure something out. And then if not, I will proceed to tell you what happened to this piece. So first of all, thank you. Joyce is first to report to the chat here with the tears. Yes, the crying face is very appropriate for today's stream. And then we have Sarah as well. Sarah says, hello, everyone. And we also have Leslie and Coming Stitch Pattern. Welcome. And Michelle Fuller is also here. And Busy Mom is also here as well. Welcome. And Suzanne is here. I feel like I haven't seen Suzanne for a little while. Maybe it's just me. And Chloe as well. Chloe C, welcome back. Sarah VM is also in the chat. Welcome. Wendy, hello. Silver Stitches, welcome. See the sadness in the tone of my voice, even saying hello to you. Yes. And Laura says hello, everyone. And Sherry 555, maybe Sherry's new. Welcome. And Leslie says Yogi is in the conservatory with the scissors, is my guess. Oh, that will be too easy, Leslie. And Maja is also here as well. We've got a few new people in the chat. Very happy with that. And Lorraine is also here. And Geron, welcome. And Kelly Quotes Plus is also here, and Turtle Stitcher. Yes, many of you have, spent a fair amount of time trying to guess what happened to this piece, and it's about to be revealed, okay? And I'll come back and say hello to the rest of you. I think all of you are probably eager to figure out what is going on with this piece. It looks fine, right? It looks totally fine. What is wrong with it? Okay, let me tell you. What is happening to this piece. And so in order to do that, I probably need to bring on a view here. So this is my view from Saga. So this is the markup view here. So this will allow me to zoom in here. So I need to highlight a few areas here for you. See if I can zoom in here a little bit. So I want to focus, obviously, on a completed area there. And let me zoom in a little bit more as well, so you can see carefully. First of all, I want to draw your attention to, there's a Scrabble letter here, and there's a kind of red string type thing that running down. I want to draw your attention to this string here, okay? And then I will zoom into my markup here. Okay, have you noticed there's some differences? Prices for someone notice any difference? Oh, Caroline says, Yogi, did you stitch portrait instead of landscape? It has been done before with the wedding shop, so I fixed that. Okay, so that has happened before. Yes, that's very much like me. And so if you look at this sort of red string here comparing to the markup, what do you see? Prices for the first raising the hands. How's that? Okay, I'll give you a few moments there. So this markup generated by Saga is a little bit off in colors because, GeckoRouge patterns, they don't come with DMC numbers. So I had to literally go into every single color and pick the one that's kind of similar to the actual thread in order to generate this view. So it took a little bit of time, but it was through trying to import the pattern to Saga, I noticed what happened. If I didn't know, I'll be blissfully unaware with Pattern Keeper. Okay. Essie says you missed the column. And Kelly says the red line is straighter than the markup. Yeah, well spotted. And Sarah says missed stitches. Yes, total stitches, the string is too skinny. Okay, so you have noticed that. It's quite visible once you've seen it, right? And it's running along here, starts to get a little bit wispy and then start to expand a little bit lower down here. So it's kind of weird. So to be honest, when I was stitching it, I totally didn't notice it, because if you look at this piece as a whole, it's a kind of, abstract piece. This is not a landscape. This is not factual in any shape or form. This is from the artist's imagination, to create this cupboard. All the objects here, maybe you see them in real life, but they're not arranged in the way that you could kind of gauge, does it look right or not right? And if you look at the printout here, yes, it's a ribbon down here running down all the way, link up different elements of design, but it doesn't look like it here, does it? Okay, so that's for one. And then I'm going to move forward. Maybe as I'm showing you more elements, you'll be able to figure out why this happened. Okay, so it's a puzzle for you, and this is a warning to you as well, because I know some of you are very experienced people. This might not happen, but who knows? It could happen to any of you. So I'm going to move forward here and draw your attention to this little figure here. I don't know what it is, to be honest. This is kind of like a birdhouse. So this might be a bird of some kind. And let me zoom out to the markup here. Can you notice a little bit of difference there as well? Can you see that? Joy says the grid confuse you. You miss columns. No, it's yes, that can be confusing, but can you see it's kind of consistent? I've just moved from the rope here, the string here, moved to the right, and lo and behold, there's one bit that looks slightly suspicious. If you look at the markup on the screen there's no straight line here. For some reason, I do. But when you look down, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong here. And also the birdhouse also looks somewhat normal, doesn't it? There's just no way to tell. And also, you don't really notice any difference until you stitch it. And at this point, I absolutely no clue. Didn't even notice. I thought it looked pretty good. Okay? And, okay, someone is bringing up something that's very close to what happened, okay? But if you think that's subtle, let me show you the next bit, guys. This is where it starts to look quite a little bit more obvious. So this is, I'm moving toward the right here, so let me move the screen as well. So can you see what's happening here? Can you do a comparison of what's on the screen and what's on my fabric there? Right? So this folder here is kind of a bit more obvious. And I vividly remember, it was during the COVID period. I was stitching this area like a fiend. I was completing this area thinking it looks really good. And then I kind of noticed this kind of cut off, slightly offset effect there. I did think, oh, that's an interesting choice for the artist. It's almost like you just slice it vertically and then just offset it like that. I don't remember saying that, but I thought, hey, it's Collin Thompson. No problem. This is an abstract piece. This is a fun piece, right? So maybe this is fun for Collin. I don't know. All right. But as you can see on the markup there, that is not the case. There is no offset of this piece. So I think some of you have already figured out, okay, yes, some of you got it at this point, because it's become more and more obvious because there's an interval that's occurring there. And same thing, again, it's happening here as well, but it's so subtle. If you didn't tell me, even now I look at it comparing to the markup here. Can you see the difference? But there is something missing there. And there's a vertical line. This part has kind of bled out a little bit more on the markup, but over on my fabric there, it's just a straight line. You know, pretty clean line there. And the same thing horizontally as well. Again, this pattern is probably the worst one to have this happening because you literally can't tell unless you compare it side by side. So look at, draw your attention to this clock here, okay? Look at what's happening here. Look at what's happening on my fabric. The markup's supposed to be 12 and 4. On my fabric, it looks like 11 and a cross. Okay, so I'm going to look to the chat now. Who has got it? Who has got what happened? Okay. So Essie says overlap seems to be missing. And Jan Doll, overlapping stitches was removed in Pattern Keeper. And Betty says some stitches, column missing. And who else has come up with a solution? Yes, Chloe says edges of each page of the pattern are missing. And Turtle Stitcher says you're missing columns at the edge of the pages. Caroline says, did you forget to add the 3-line overlap? Okay. Joyce, I think Joyce has got it correctly. Many of you missed the overlap. So what is happening to the overlap? Yes, you guys, you got it. You got it. So what happened was, at this point, when I, because up to this point, I'm working on this piece with my Pattern Keeper. Okay, so let me hide this view for a little bit so I can show you my Pattern Keeper here. So this is my Pattern Keeper, and this is the version I imported originally back in 2023, right here, okay? And I am going to show you what's happening here. Let me just show you the markup. So this is generated by the pattern, okay? So it's stitch by stitch. And it looks great. If you check, nothing's wrong. Absolutely nothing is wrong. Nothing's, you know, visually, it will alert you there's anything kind of not right here. But if I zoom in, all right, you'll probably notice the same thing we saw. This folder, for instance, the most obvious one, it's like this. But to be honest, if I even was suspicious when I was stitching this during COVID, I'll just have a look at the markup and go, huh, that's what it's supposed to be. That's a part of the design. And I look at the rope over here. Yeah, that's correct. That looks right. And everything looks kosher. It's all good. It's all complete. And so I'm going to go into the chart here and explain. I've been trying to trace back and try to figure out how, why only now I notice there's something wrong with it. And to be honest, if I didn't try to convert it to Saga, I probably wouldn't notice. I'll just keep stitching it for the next 20 years to come. And then maybe turn around at some point, notice it. So this is what's happening with the chart, okay? If I zoom way in to show you the starting point of the pattern here, as you can see, there are 3 stitches. It doesn't start from upper left corner. It doesn't start from stitch 1. There are 3 stitches above and the side. And also when you scroll to the bottom, there are 2. So I think they do so to keep the design right at the center. Right at the center. For some reason, the numbers work out this way, and they try to center this piece here. So it started from here. So I think in my mind, even though at that time, even though I was a complete newbie as a full coverage stitcher, and pretty new to Pattern Keeper, but I was aware of that overlapping element. You know, sometimes it's grayed out on patterns, right? To go, well, you know, these three will appear on the next page, and on the next page in the beginning, there will be three grayed out. That happens. So I understood that in my mind. But for some reason, when I imported this chart here, I must have, in order for this to happen, I must have, you know, when you import a pattern, the Pattern Keeper will ask you, is there overlap? Are they sort of gray-ish kind of stitches? You know, you know the one I'm talking about. And you can say yes or no. I said yes. I said yes, even though if you look at the PDF, there's no grayed out stitches on any of them, other than the beginning. You know, it didn't start right from the start, from the top left of the grid. So I must have, for some reason, I looked at the page 1 and decided, in my mind, it's a yes for overlap. So what happens is, if I show you how many pages it's got, okay, just look at this. It's breathtaking. This is the entire piece. And this is the entire total number of pages. So the page size is slightly smaller than a typical Heaven and Earth in terms of stitch numbers. So I haven't counted, but roughly I think it's over 200 pages. So what does that mean to this piece? It means every page, there are 3 stitches missing on the right there and 3 stitches overlapping at the bottom. All of them, every single page here, every single page. And it distorts. Sometimes it's very subtle, you can't see. For instance, this belt here is actually squashed. But hey, who will notice that? And these numbers, yes, it looks like 11, but at no time, at no point, I ever wonder, oh, why doesn't it say 12? I'm just thinking this is a fun piece. This is, you know, fantasy piece. So that looks like a cross, that looks like 11, no problem at all. And also by the time I, you know, would have noticed, I've already I have stitched it. Because in Pattern Keeper, there's no ability to quickly look at the markup. If I looked at the markup, it would have looked the same. And also, I wasn't able to flip over like Saga that I could. You know, with Saga, I could do this, not this one. With Saga, I can do a flip. This is a flip, right? So I can see the markup here. And then otherwise, I see the chart. I have no capability of doing so. And to be honest, I wasn't checking. I didn't think there was anything wrong, never once at any point. And the reason I noticed there's something a little bit fishy here was when I finally decided to transfer this pattern to Saga. So if you look at the stitch count here, just have that in your mind here. So the total stitch count, if you can see it, is 832,000 rough. And I've got 8% done. And then now I'm going to show you what's happening on my Saga here. Let me show you the full view. Okay, here, so you can see it more carefully. And I'm going to go to, so you can see the Saga version is clearly correct because, you know, the folder looks complete. The rope looks just like the way it should be, right? All the way down, no problem. And the numbers are correct, 12 and 4. And this is generated by actual stitches. So this is not an illustration. And I'm going to show you the stats here. If you look at the number here, it doesn't say the same number. This is over 90,000. Whereas, let me just come back here. Whereas here it says 832,000. So we've got, I had to do a calculation. I can't count, as you can see. There are about 70,000, something missing. So it's not trivial. It's not something that I can just go, well, no one will notice. Now I notice. And it's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. So this is when my heart sank, because I'm looking at this piece. I love this design. When I first noticed something wrong with it, that the stitch count was incorrect, I was thinking maybe Saga, for whatever reason, just counting these ones, the 3 on the borders, and add on top of the actual stitches. And I figured out that that's not the case. It took me a little while to actually figure out what the discrepancy with the numbers. And by the time I noticed, I knew that I had to do something about it. And I didn't know what to do, because this is the piece I've been working on close to 3 years, and I intended to move forward. And I was so depressed looking at this. I didn't know who to blame. I want to blame myself. But at the same time, was there anything could have stopped me from misinterpreting the overlap? I doubt very much. I was such a newbie, and I didn't have a forum like this, and I was just doing my own research, being locked down at home, stitching this piece. I didn't stand a chance. I don't think there was anything I could have done to avoid this. And I don't know whether anyone else has done this, and it's taken 2.5 years to find out. So when I figured it out, because I wanted to stitch this piece during one of our streams a couple of weeks ago, maybe less than 2 weeks ago, when I realized what happened here. And I got so depressed, I just put it down. I couldn't even explain how I felt about it, because I wasn't even sure I want to go on and stitch it. I really didn't know. And, GeckoRouge, they come in like tons and tons of floss. They're so beautiful. And this massive, piece of fabric waiting for me. So I had to leave it for a few days. I just, needed to let it sink in, because I literally didn't know what to do. Should I just carry on, pretend it never happened? And that's not workable, because by the time, even if I pull up the correct chart and start stitching this bit, it's going to be offset, because every page there's 3 stitches missing. So I know busy mom is so sad, and Etty says it's so sad, so much stitching. I know. Let me show you how many stitches I've done here. So 8% doesn't sound like a lot, but this is such a massive piece. Okay, so this piece I've done 67,000 stitches right here. It doesn't look like a lot because it's such a massive piece, but 67,000 right here. So I had to think about it, and I had 2 choices. I know, guys, I know. Turtle Stitcher says Yogi's being very brave. I know. I'm holding back tears right now. Deep breath. Ujjayi breath. Okay. Claudia, thank you. She says, my heart breaks for you. All the beautiful work. I know. So I had to let it sink in and figure out how I'm going to move forward with this. Because on one hand, I'm kicking myself, but at the same time, I truly do not know how I could have avoided it. I don't think I could have. And with other design, if the design was like a landscape or something else, you probably would notice there's some lines that shouldn't be here. But it just so happened to be such a playful, sort of abstract design that you cannot tell because a lot of weird things are going on. For instance, this blob, I don't even know what it is. And let me show you what it looks like on the markup here. It was this orange blob. To be honest, I don't even know what it is now. It's like a purple blob with legs. But from here, I just noticed the shape. It kind of slightly spiraling, and I didn't even notice this bit got cut off. No chance. I had no chance. If it happened on the doll's face, if that was a straight line, I would have noticed it. But just so happened, it kind of happened in locations that you can explain it away. For instance, this bottle here, what is going on? It's supposed to be like this. Look. It's supposed to be like double vision, maybe somehow echoes the drunkenness if you drink this bottle. And it's the type of design that has, unusual things happening. So there was no way I could do it. So I left it for maybe 2-3 days. I was contemplating in my mind what to do. So as I said, I had two choices. I could either leave it. When I first discovered it, I didn't want to look at it one more time. I just go, I've had it. I've had it. I'm done with it. Bye bye. And then I remember how much I loved it, and also I remember how much I paid for it. If you're not familiar with GeckoRouge, their kits are not cheap. I mean, I think it's worthwhile. I don't regret for a day that I got it. But it's not, it's a small investment. It's an investment you put in as a hobby. So this kit, 25 counts with fabric, floss. It came with two big, let me show you. It came with two big boxes of floss here. Beautiful boxes. If you have order from GeckoRouge, and they come in with tons and tons and tons of floss here. Okay, and this kit, I think 25 counts, it was over £500. You can do the conversion, British pounds, okay. And this is not something that I got lightly, and I really intend to finish it little bit at a time. So I decided I want to give it a second chance. But I was thinking, how do I do that? Because for my own sanity, there's no chance I'm going to repeat this process all over again. Like stitch like this, do like birdhouse and the doll, diagonal, whatever. No chance. I just knew for my own sanity, I wasn't able to do that. So I had to find a different way. And the reason I couldn't just, explain it properly, because I want a sad story to have I don't know about happy ending, because this will take probably 50 years for me to stitch, okay, with my speed. But I wanted to have a positive sort of, new beginning. So I had to wait till I got the new fabric and then have a game plan in terms of how I'm going to do it. Because literally, I don't know. And as I said, I wasn't about to repeat this process all over again. No, I wouldn't be able to cope. So I decided to get a new piece of fabric, of course. So this piece is massive. So hopefully, maybe I'll keep this triangular bit or a square, if I cut the square out, and keep it as a souvenir, as a warning to me and to you all, okay? And use it as a cautionary tale for all the stitches to come in the future. And but I can use the rest of the fabric here. It's massive. I can use for other projects, so that's positive. So I had to get a new piece of fabric. So the question will be, what do I get? And I decided to get this. Let me show you. I've got it all framed, okay? This is 28 counts fabric. And I got griddless because gridding, as Joyce pointed out, is really doing my head in. Even though it's more convenient, I don't think I ever buy gridded fabric again. I just think, you know, it's so much better to grid it myself. It might take a little bit of effort, but this is what I'm going to do. But I'll come back to this. So I've got my fabric, 28 counts. This is 25. So I want a fresh start. I want something different. I want a new journey with this piece, okay? And write a new story. So 28 counts. And I'm going to pick a different starting point. Do you guys want to... Susan says... Oh, Susan's got idea for me. Susan says... make a cushion cover. Yeah, with this. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You have the triangular. You have to be a triangular cushion, right? So, yes, Joy says, same here. Pre-gridding is confusing. Absolutely. And the more I use it, the more mistakes I make. So even though it was reassuring for me, to be honest, when I started doing 25 counts, it was reassuring to know that, you know, even if I miss one grid, the next grid at least is going to be correct. But I think overall, at this point, I think, you know, I can go not gridless, but I can grid it myself. Gray says middle start. That's one choice, because upper left is out of question here. And let me bring on the full markup here. All right. So if not the upper left start, let me know, where would you start? Where would you start? This is a massive, massive piece. So if you're talking about the center, it will be somewhere slightly on the left side of this teddy bear here. Can you see there's a teddy bear on one of the shelves and the red mask? It will be somewhere there in the middle. And there's some letters, kind of a Ouija board or something like that, but stitched. It's really, really cute. This is a beautiful piece. The more I look at it. Oh, Betty says bottom right for me. Betty said bottom right, but bottom right would be that green star there. And with this beautiful house as well, you know, that's a nice choice. And upper right, Sarah says, okay, there's a beautiful little lady there in, I don't know if it's wedding gown or something, upper right. And where would you start? Leslie is also bottom right. The bottom right is popular. Yes, I had to think about it, because when I was stitching from upper left, my normal approach is not to look too far away, because if you look at all my pieces, they all have a lot going on. This is my thing, you know, I just love design like this. But I try not to look too further down wherever I'm stitching from, because I want an element of surprise as well. I love that. And if I figured out every single part of the pattern, it would, you know, it's not boring, but you know, you wouldn't have that surprise, the freshness. So to be honest, this pattern, even though I've been working on it for close to 3 years, I never really looked to the bottom right. I want to leave it. But this time I had to have a little look in order to decide what to do. Heather House says middle. Chloe C says, I will start bottom right. Bottom right is quite popular there. And Suzanne says, pick a motif that you like and start there. Oh, yes, I know. But wherever I start, I have to feel confident with the position, right? Because, you know, I don't want to get to a certain point and lo and behold, I'm running out of the margin. Adri has made her entry with a super chat here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adri. Yes, I haven't seen you for ages, Adri. Where have you been? Welcome, welcome. And she says, hello, everyone. I'm back from the dead. It's a miracle. So today is all about rebirth, is it? I'm giving, my piece here, another chance in life. And Adri, lo and behold, is coming back from dead. That is miracle. Sorry. And Nikki says middle start. Middle start. Let's review one more time. So I thought about middle start. I'll be honest with you, because it's a good place to start, and it's more reassuring in terms of, starting point. You go from outwards. But if you look at what's happening in the middle there, it's the Ouija board. I think it's a Ouija board. It's got letters there. But the color is very bland. Well, not bland, but it's a lot of light background there, acres there. And I can go down a little bit, I presume, but it's kind of, there isn't one thing particular right in the middle there that I can start. There's a purpley blob there with legs, and then there's a book underneath. And I had to think about it. So I've decided, okay, it's unconventional, but what I'm going to do is to start from the center, but from the bottom up. Can you see that? So the bottom, let me switch back to the full view here, so you can get a better view here. So this is the full markup here. And let me bring on that center line with, I think it's that one. Yes, there's a center line there. So if you go for center, right, it's kind of here. Can you see the cross there? It's kind of quite a light background start. I could have started there, but I decided, oh, that looks like a lot. And also, the surrounding area has got a lot of light background there. So I decided to come down, following the center, because center is a good starting point. And then I looked down and I saw this beautiful little pattern there on the wall, and I'm really drawn to it. And if you look all the way down here, cat star, exactly. Yes, Sarah, there's a little kitty, not very far away. If you look at this red line in the middle there, I'm starting with kind of darkish color. That's always good, because starting with light colors, I just feel, I'm not totally, sort of driven to do that. So as you can see, yes, it's I don't know what this is, by the way. Can you figure out what this is? It's like maybe if balls being stacked together. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. But it's kind of darkish colors. That's a good start for me. And to the left, I've got this gorgeous kitty. To be honest, 2.5 years having this design, I didn't even know this kitty existed, because I don't look beyond where I'm stitching. So I thought, well, yes, that's a winner. And all the colors here are quite colorful. So my plan would be starting from the center bottom, and then maybe move toward the left. And I'll tell you as much at this point, even though in my mind, this is where I want to start, I don't know how I'm going to stitch it, even at this moment. And I think I'll improvise when I start. I can't make up my mind. And I'll take your lead to a certain extent in terms of the stitching method, because I am going up, which I'm not used to. I don't have a single piece that I do that, even though I have center start pieces that I tend to work downwards. And then maybe at some point I need to move up. Okay. But so far, pretty much I do diagonal downwards or top to bottom. So this will be a new thing for me. And I needed it for this piece. I need to have a new start, things I haven't done before, in order to stay sane during this piece, or redoing rather. So I'm going to start from the bottom, from this area, maybe, I have no idea, diagonally upwards, working toward the kitty here. That makes me excited because this kitty is so cute. This kitty is so cute. And so what do you think, guys? Do you think that's gonna work? And I'll need your inspiration from you in terms of the stitching method, because I'm gonna start from bottom up. I'm thinking parking would not be a good idea, at least at this point, because parking upwards is not my thing. I've never done it. Betty still says bottom right. Yes, a lot of bottom right there. Yes, to be honest, it's quite pretty. You know, bottom right is here. There's a lovely house there. And there's a ruler as well. I never noticed that. Yes, very tempting. Yes, that's a nice one. That's a nice one as well. But coming from the center, I can work toward the right side as well, can't I? I can work toward the right, and quite a lot is happening here. It's very exciting. They've got this purpley shirt here, and there's a Addams Family character here, whatever that is. And then toward the right, there's a beautiful little house there. It's nice. It's like a new piece. Susan says no parking. Yes, I don't think parking upwards at this point is a good idea for me. So no parking. So that leaves me with a couple of choices. Okay, I can do freestyling from here, right? Let me come back to the center. I can do freestyling mini cross country, or another version of mini cross country, or a slightly longer distance, is time writing, because this is bottom edge. I could do a bottom up time writing. That's another way of doing it, and work symbol by symbol, maybe toward the left. So I will make these decisions when I bring my fabric back. Okay, literally at this point, I really don't know what I'm going to do. So let me switch back to my view here. So let me fold this. This is almost like a little memorial funeral sort of goodbye party for this piece. I've been working on this for 2.5 years, and I have to say goodbye to it. And maybe I'll turn it into something, who knows, like pincushion or something, if I can make it work. Or a triangular cushion, like you suggested. Okay, and I'll figure it out. I don't want it to be wasted. And also, I want to keep this work and show it from time to time to what can happen if you're, less experienced, or, if I didn't even know you're supposed to count the total number of stitches. Never looked. I've imported so many pieces from heaven and earth, never try to look at the total number of stitches to check. It's just not my thing. So there must be others like me. Yogi cannot be the only one. So this will be a cautionary tale for you, and hopefully with a happy ending as well. So here, I'm going to gently fold it and send it to a slumber for now, and before I decide what to do. Okay, so sad music, everyone, and condolences. Any sad emoji, if you have them at your disposal, please send this piece away with me together. Okay, I'm going to roll it up and maybe put it in a little bag until, I decide what to do with this piece. So with love. And so this print is still, valid here. Okay, so I'm going to just tuck this away and put it aside. And now, guys, now is time for new beginning. The sadness is done. We've done it. This heaviness of the heart. Now we're going to put a period to it. Yes, comfort eating is good, Sarah. A lot of chocolate, okay? Oh my God, Chloe, where do you get that half face? Oh, look at this. This is so apt. This is on my screen. Hang on. I've never seen the... Hang on a second. This is a sign. I cannot believe it. Do you know what it looks like on my screen here? Let me show you. This must be some sort of sign here. Let me show you. This face here. from Chloe is half of the face, whereas on the screen it's supposed to be properly like this. This is almost like it's telling me what's happening to my fabric. I've never seen a you know, an emoji on the screen. That's only appeared like half of it. Is this a sign of what? That is so scary. If you look at Chloe's message there, it's supposed to be a full face, but on my screen it's only half a face. Oh dear. Yes. I need to take a screenshot of that because it's very scary. And so that's what it is. Yes, Steve is saying. This is a little bit scary. I've never seen half emoji appear before. That's very freaky. Yeah, thank you everyone. I think the fabric can fill it. This project, I'm going to send it to sleep and make good use of the remaining fabric here. And now it's time for a new beginning, okay? So happy music now. Happy emoji. Happy celebration emoji. Let me move this away. And let me bring on, let's start a new journey here, guys. I know it took a while to explain, but it was important because it's hard to explain what happened, how we got here or how I got here. So this is my fabric, 28 count DMC fabric. My favorite, this is the same fabric as my sweet shop. And I love stitching that fabric. So I've decided to get the same fabric, no pre-gridding, none of that nonsense. And we're here for a new beginning, okay? Guys, you and me, we're together with this journey, and I'm going to just put my lucky needle minder here. Okay, so I've got my lucky cat here, and I'm having another cat, double cat, okay, to protect me from curse of this project here. Yes, celebration now. We've gone through sad phase, spooky phase, and now it's happiness. All right, so here. So this blue line here, I marked down. This is the center point of the fabric at the bottom. So, you know, I had to make a decision on where I'm going to stitch it before I can frame my fabric, okay? So this is a center block here. The center line is some halfway here through this block. And I just mark this block blue so I know where to start. And let me bring on my view here. So let me tune into this area here and flip it back. And bring back the border. Okay, so I know where it is. Can you see at the bottom? There are 2 stitches, empty as well. So it's kind of unusual. You never see that with Heaven and Earth. It's always start from, you know, the full block from upper left. But it shouldn't have been a problem, to be honest. But, you know, it's the fact that I somehow had that in mind when I imported the pattern. That was a problem. So this is my center line here. It's right in the middle of this block here. Let me zoom in. All right, so this is where I'm going to start. So guys, how should I, do you think just freestyle? Because color completion within the block wouldn't make sense because I'm not parking. So it's either just cross country, just go wherever, or I go typewriting. What do you think? So I want to take. I'm happy with either method. I want to know what you think. What would you have done? So Betty says bottom center could follow blue frame up and then work down. Let's have a look to figure out what Betty means. The blue frame. Oh, okay. Do you mean this bit? The blue frame up. You know, I'm really attracted to this pattern here. This pattern here. And I want to just reassure you here, okay? I want to reassure you the number of stitches is correct. So, and you can be, you know, my sanity check here. So the total stitches is 907, 910. All right, 907, 910. And then in terms of the stitch count, so this is I think typo. It's supposed to be 1114 by 815. And if you you know, multiply these stitches, you should get the precise number that I've got here. So I kind of double, triple, you know, quadruple check on these numbers to make sure that's correct. And the number of colors is also correct. And as you can see, this is zero stitches so far. And I'm going to create a sprint as usual. This is our tradition, okay? We create a sprint here to capture the number of stitches. So today's celebration, a new beginning of this piece. And it's not about how many stitches I've done. Excuses already. But it's about celebrating the new birth. Just like Adri. Adri has come back from dead, okay? And she looks quite alive to me. So I think that is probably a sign for my piece here as well. And just another interesting thing to show you for this piece, because this is GeckoRouge. They don't give you DMC number. So when I import it, it doesn't know what color is what, right? So I'll just tap on the eyeball, the eye icon here. If you use Saga, you know that it gives you a kind of a markup, a more realistic markup to show you. And if I tap on the eye, this is what happens. It looks like a Picasso or Monet piece, right? So this is what happens when I import it, and I'm not able to get the app to regenerate this view, so I'm stuck with it. And also on the thumbnail as well, this is what you looking at. Maybe Jan is in the chart. I saw Jan. Maybe Jan knows. I don't believe that there's any way to regenerate this view based on the colors I've changed, because I basically went into the chart and thread and changed the colors individually. That's what I did to match the colors visually, looking at my floss there. And so in order to import this pattern to Saga, it took me multiple days. At one point, I pretty much gave up. I didn't want to do it anymore because manually changing them is just painful. But that's GeckoRouge pattern for you. I'm not able to figure out there's any other way. So this is why I am, okay? So here, I've got trying to find my floss. Where did I put it? So I've got a separate set for GeckoRouge, which is right here. It's got just under 150 colors, all these colors. So I basically went into thread card, the thread list, and match these colors visually in order to generate the markup there. So a lot of work, and it shows my determination. But through that process, I noticed the fatal error of the piece. You know, I could have just left it and worked with Pattern Keeper, totally blissfully unaware of what happened. And Jan says, I don't think there is, referring to my question about regenerating the preview, the stitch view. She says, I don't think there is. Maybe if you explore back up and re-add it. But I have not tried that. Yes, I think the markup there, the eye icon, you know, the simulated look, is based on the thread number of the chart, rather than if you customize, if you change the colors for whatever reason, it does not recognize it. So that's sort of my understanding right now. So guys, shall we start? Do a little bit of stitching. Sorry guys, a lot of explanation, but I needed to explain everything so you know what happened. You know, it's partially me, but to be honest, as I said, I don't think I could have not made this mistake. So I don't know what, you know, I don't know. I just have to kind of, you know, accept what happened there and look at this as a new beginning. And you know, I get to start this piece twice. How amazing. and also because I'm going for 28 counts, I don't have to worry about the amount of floss. To be honest, even if I went with 25 counts, I don't think I have any trouble with the amount of the floss. Oh, one thing I do want to show you though, I forgot. With my now you know, piece that I sent to sleep, I just want to show you quickly. I'm sorry to bring this piece back. I want to show you the back of this piece, just to show you how neat it is. I'm so proud. Look at this. This is the back. And with GeckoRouge, unlike Heaven and Earth, if there's kind of a block of colors, it tends to kind of blend multiple colors that are looking very similar. But with GeckoRouge, either is super confetti, like these areas, super confetti, or really just honest single color blocks everywhere, single color everywhere. So depending on how you stitch it, I do Danish stitches. It's pretty neat. So my back kind of looks like this. It's not too bad, is it? So okay, now I'm gonna send it back. And I probably won't look at it for a little while, and just leave it be and move on to the new piece. Okay. Yes, Michelle, thank you so much. Yes. So this is what's happening. So now let's start with the first few stitches. So I am happy to start with slightly darker color. It helps me. So what do you think, guys? So Calming Stitch pattern says typewriter, and Rochelle says cross country. Let them rip. Heather, I don't want to start this piece 3 times, okay? Twice is quite enough. 3 times will be greedy. And I'm not greedy. I'm satisfied with twice. 2 is a good number. So I'll pick my color for now to start with and see how I felt when I start to pull a needle in. Because either way is good, right? The only difference with cross country is and typewriter is just the order you stitch in terms of colors. And let's go. So I'm going to pick this block and do a bit of stitching. How about something that's nice and dark to start with? So I know I'm not doing air stitching. I'm gonna go for this one, and I'm gonna make some adjustments here with my block set, so you can see there's quite a few going on. That this is how you know, GeckoRouge tends to be charted. It just goes all out with a single color. It's not shine about it. It doesn't try to blend a little bit of a, you know, other colors. It just goes all away. So it's quite nice. So why don't I start here? Maybe turn the borders to blue. I'm used to blue. And let's go. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to start from the center block here, which is here. And this is a new beginning. So here. Windmill, Grace. No, I have nowhere to windmill with because this is the bottom. I thought about it. But I've already have one piece, you know, the Valentine nook that I started with that method. So I'm still exploring how to do it properly. So I'm not going to venture into that. I'm going to pick the method that I feel comfortable with. So as you can see, this is all number based. So it's 16, 16. So this is a dark color. I can't go wrong with that, right? So what I'm going to go for is 1/1, okay? Good old fashioned 1/1 full cross. That's it, single strand. No controversy there. With 28 counts, so it should be nice and full. And this is DMC floss from GeckoRouge, even though the texture I felt is kind of slightly less glossy, which I like. Regular DMC sometimes can feel very, very glossy unnecessarily. So this is where I am. Okay, I've got 2 cats here guarding my needles and my fabric. I'm gonna start my new journey here. Okay, so to start with, the blue line, I can erase it very carefully, very easily later on, so don't you worry. And I'm going to start here. So there are quite a lot of stitches here. That's nice. So 1, 2, 3. See, at this point, I still don't know whether I should be doing typewriting. I think I'll do a little bit of typewriting for the first block. How's that? And then maybe as I establish the 10 stitches here to the left, then I'll decide what to do, whether continue the typewriting, if that makes sense, or, you know, I just go cross country. Because fundamentally, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. So this is my first stitch live here in front of your eyes with this epic piece. Redo. Okay, this is redo of this stitch already. I think I'm 1 stitch off here, no problem. I just need to come back to the other side and do the 3rd one. I intended to start from the 3rd stitches, but for some reason I started from the 2nd. This is looking nice already. I know it's premature. Only 2.5 stitches, but I'm excited. I hope you are too. And let me know what you're working on. Oh, I'm sorry. Totally neglected your projects here. How dare I? Let me know what you are working on and what you're drinking, okay? I'm drinking my ginseng matcha tea. I need a sip. I need a sip. Oh, to calm my nerves. Right here. Yes. What, Nikki? No, Nikki, it's okay. It's okay. No, Nikki, you're right. Yes. Oh, see what's happening here? Nikki, yes. Did you guys notice what I've done here? Oh man, Nikki, you know, I think you're an alien, but I thank you. Yes, you're quite right. You're quite right. Yes. Nikki's raising alarms here. Nikki's raising alarms here, and rightly so. Rightly so. Have you noticed what's happening here? Yes. If you notice what I've done wrong here, raise your hands. Oh, this is what's happening. I don't know what to do without you guys. You know, I would have have to start this project the 3rd time in about 2.5 years. Yes, Jackie says I saw it. I know. I need to read the chat at the same time, multitasking. It's very challenging. I'm nervous as well. Yes, that's right. There are 2 stitches at the bottom that's unstitched, okay? Nikki saves the day, exactly. And Sarah says, I'm working on... Yeah, let's shift the focus on you for a second, guys. Sarah, just to distract you from my terrible mistakes. Sarah says, I'm working on Monarch and drinking cold coffee. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's start again. Let's pretend it didn't happen. We're just warming up. It's just warming up, you know. And Iris, hello, welcome back, joining us. And oh dear, that was close. Thank you, Nikki. She's the queen of ego eye, whatever eye she's got. She's got Neuralink sort of super eyesight there. So let me count very carefully, okay? And count with me, guys. It's 1, 2, and 3 from the left. 1, 2, 3. Because starting point is so important, isn't it? If you start off wrong, it's wrong all the way. All the way. And I should have taken that into consideration because I'm gritting this with pencil, which means it cannot be removed, okay? So I'm going to have a little grey line there at the bottom going forward, but it's okay because eventually, you know, it's going to get rubbed off. If I wash it, if I ever wash it, then it will come off, I'm sure. So to be safe, I'm going to leave a little tail there rather than trying to be clever. Am I correct, right? 2 above. All right. And shout at me in caps or raise the alarm bell if I ever do anything. That is so clumsy again. Right? I'm okay, right? Yes. Joy says, not in 10 stitches. No, because I kind of want to have a fresh start with full cross. I know because version 1, the one you just saw, I switched from full cross to 10 stitches in the recent sessions, and an attempt to kind of find freshness for, oh dear, for the piece. I messed up this stitch, haven't I? It's okay. The starting point can be a little bit challenging, but once we're there, I'm warming up, okay? I'm warming up, guys. And so I'm going to tuck this one in, tease this one at the bottom. I'm warming up because it's quite a daunting thing to start an epic piece like this. I still remember how excited and nervous I was when I started from upper left corner. I vividly remember those days when I was stitching that Scrabble piece, letter C. I remember it. I remember it. It's full of magic and wonder. I'm good now, right? 2 from above, all right? What? No, it is correct. Yes, it's correct. I'm starting here, within this block, with the center red line here. So I'm starting from 3 stitches. Oh, shit! I'm so sorry. Oh, no. Yes, guys. Okay. So you can see why I'm here. Okay, just look at all the alarms here. Okay. Yes, I need to pay attention. This is the second attempt, guys. Guys, please donate me to a lab, okay, and study me, because I don't think this is normal. What do you say? It's literally screaming. Oh my God, what am I doing, guys? What am I doing? You can totally see why I ended up here, can you not? Right? So this is not clickbait, okay? This is not comedy. This is not one of those comedies that, I slip over banana skin and pretending it's real. No, this is actually me slipping over banana skin and hurt my bottom badly. Let me just cut this off, seriously. I know what's going on now. It's supposed to be from here, isn't it? Yes, it's 2. But GeckoRouge, please, GeckoRouge. When you create your charts from now on, please bear people like me in mind, okay? Because it's bad enough that I can't count. I also have no sense of direction. This is probably the worst combination in one person to do full coverage cross stitching. Guys, should I change the channel to paint by number? Should we just switch? And from tomorrow, the stream will be me doodling and painting on a canvas rather than stitching, because I don't think I'm made for it. What do you think? I can't count. I mean, Nikki says she can't count to 5, but I think the problem with me is that I can't count, but I think I can. Okay, so confirm with you guys. Okay, it's right here, isn't it? 3rd row from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Correct? If so, thumbs up. I am not gonna stitch. I'm not gonna make a single stitch tonight until you tell me that's correct. Go. I know. Just look at what Dewey keeps screaming. I want to count how many exclamation marks are there. I can't count. Oh, banana skin, Susan. Yes, I slipped over 3 times. Just with this little blocks with 3 stitches. And I can't get it started. What do you do? And I'm surprised that you're still watching. I would have just, tuned off and go, that's enough. This person just shouldn't be, tomorrow when I come back, she better be doing painting by number, because she cannot stitch. So 1, 2, and I can't even count. 1, 2, 3. So 3 from top, right? So I am going to go one more time. Okay, is that good? Is that good? I'm going to put my needle through before I pull it thread through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is this correct, guys? Yes. Jackie Turner says yes. Nikki says, Jan, she has the center grid. Yes, I do, yes. The center grid is the red line there. And then it's right in the middle of this block here. That's my center point. But I for some reason, my mind just cannot read this empty stitches, and also only half a block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half a block here. All right. Is that good? Is that good? I'm going to put my thread through. Okay, the first one. And it's good, it's dark color because you can see better. If I was doing air stitching, if I was doing like just cream color or whatever nonsense color that is. So is that good? Is that good? Sarah says Saga is 5 by 5. You can do 5 by 5, but I cannot read 5 by 5. My mind just goes. If you think this is bad, if I turn on 5 by 5, yes, my brain literally just freezes. Okay, is that good? Is that good? Yes. Betty says, Yogi, go down from the blue line. That way the bottom line of the pencil will be covered up. Go down the blue line. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, that's a very good policy, actually. Yes. Yes, Betty, you're very, very clever. Okay, I'm going to start again. Guys, by the end of this stitch, Susan, I'm going to be the 60 stitches, okay? I'm very confident. I'm going to break that record of 60. Yes, I see what Betty is saying now. I can see it. Can you see it? Let me bring on Betty's comment here. Betty says, Yogi, go down from the blue line. That way the bottom line of pencil will be covered up. You see how Betty's mind works? Because this is pencil line. And I wasn't supposed to do this, okay? But of course I have to create one grid somewhere. So Betty's suggesting that if I start... I'm very optimistic. I'm going to break the 60 stitches mark, okay, downwards. So if I go down instead, then I'll be able to cover this up. Very, very clever. I like it. I like it, Betty. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Full of great ideas. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. But I might need to extend this line just tiny bit. Otherwise, I just know I'm going to kind of miss it. Okay, so I'm not going to extend it for too long just so I know where the border is. And it might not be a lot. It will give you that visual reference. So following Betty's instruction, if I start from here, then this line will not be a problem. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, never occurred to me. Captain Squirrel just joined us. Captain Squirrel, you have to watch replay, okay? And bring your tissues. Watch the replay with a box of tissues. One box might not be enough. You might need 3, okay? And so now let's do it. Let's try it one more time. All right, here. So I'm going to move from this block downwards for 3 lines. Okay, 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm so nervous. Okay, here. And I'm going to start from the left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here. How's that? It looks good. No? Susan, no, 63. No, Susan, I'm going to be break the record downwards. It may be 30, okay? I'm feeling a bit ambitious for this session here. This is good, right? This is good. Betty, is that what you mean? I just go down 3 rows instead, right? All right. If I don't see any alarm signs, I'm gonna just keep going, okay? I'm not trying to be clever here. I'm gonna leave the tail. All right. So let's hope this time these stitches are going to stay on the fabric for more than 30 seconds. This is good, right? I'm doing slowly so I can catch your warning signs. Well, Susan says we're counting the frog stitches because then it might be a minute. Oh dear, this is good, right? This is good. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yes. So I'm going for the I ask you. Yes, I'm going for I'm stitched from the left to right. This is looking good, isn't it? Yeah? A beautiful first stitch in an accurate, in the correct position. Yes. Annie B says, they're so heartbreaking, Yogi. It couldn't have happened to any one of us. I'm sorry to have happened to you. Yes. Couldn't have happened to a stronger person, considering I break stuff constantly. I eventually broke my project this way. Okay, is that correct? Yeah, good. No, no alarm emoji, no frogs or anything. Good, good, good. I'm gonna keep going. So once I found my starting position, hopefully, it will be easier from here because they all attach together. There's no loose stitches with this color. All right, it will set a really good foundation for me, and I'm going to mark as I go, like a good person. All right, and do one at a time, and look at the chat, and watch out for any warning signs and exclamation marks. You know, no news is good news. Oh, this one I can actually do the one on the right as well, so I don't have a grid line, right? I don't want grid lines, so I'm not gonna follow the blocks necessarily. I'm gonna follow the shape within reason. So there's one stitch to the block to the right there. So far so good, right? Steve says, woohoo, 82 minutes and we have success for the first stitch. Yeah, round of applause. Yes, for Yogi, 82 minutes. We have, well, not only one, yes. Now we have 3, 4, 5, 4.5. So it's very good, very good. Thank you, Steve. Yes, it's a milestone. It's a milestone. This is making Susan it's driven Susan to comfort eating, stress eating. So all the stress, we need some chocolate. Yes, chocolate, everyone, from me. All right, and I might need a few pieces myself, and I just do the one on the right as well, and come back to the left here. So I'm not going to follow the grid borders, and just follow the colors where it makes sense. Good, good, good. I'm good, I'm good. So if the starting point is good, it's all good, isn't it? I think. I'm not sure, but I think we're good here. And this is really nice to stitch. It actually doesn't feel that smaller than 25, to be honest. If you never tried 28 and you're stitching 25, it's not such a stretch. It's not too bad. So I'm looking carefully, okay? And look to the chat as well, just in case someone's shouting at me in caps, all right? One stitch at a time, one stitch at a time, no rush. Who cares? Who cares if this is like, you know, size of a blanket? I don't mind. Only one stitch at a time. One stitch at a time. Claudia says, looks good for now. Harsh but true, harsh but true. And that's all I can hope for, you know. If it looks okay for now, it's good. There's only now, okay? The future and the past, they're illusions. We only have now. Here we go. So far so good. The thread just slipped off. I'm trying to check. I think this is 26. It feels big. Let me take another. I think it probably got blended in somehow. It felt a little bit chunky. And the floss from GeckoRouge is quite nice to stitch. And I think it has been suggested the texture is tiny bit different from the regular, you know, scans, probably because they're coming from cones and maybe made by maybe different factories. I don't know. So the texture, there's slight difference with the texture. I can feel it. I can feel it. But I like it. I like it. So moving up. So far so good, right? So everybody's eating chocolate. That's good. It's much better to have chocolate than alarms, okay? Chocolate anytime. And let me take a sip of my tea here. Oh, I need to take a breath. My tea is still hot here. Betty says, looking good. Yes, thank you, Betty, for your very clever suggestion there. Now I can hide the pencil line. Oh, the chat is so clever. There. So normally I go from bottom left to start the first leg, because I'm going up. It feels better to go from bottom right, upper right to bottom left. Oh, I'm making good progress. At least 10 stitches now. Utterly shocking. But 10 beautiful, beautiful stitches. So this row, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one extra stitch to the left. And I'm going to mark row by row so I don't lose track, because it's all black. And if you're not mindful, you could lose your position very quickly. Here. So moving up to the block above. And what is this spiral thing? I really don't know. I don't know what I'm stitching. A lot of times they're just shapes and I have no idea what is happening. Susan says, is that thread black? It's a GeckoRouge number. I'm guessing it's 310. It's got to be 310, right? So I'm starting with a bang. I'm starting with everyone's favorite color, 310. But on GeckoRouge chart is 16. They don't give you DMC numbers for copyright reasons. Yes, it's the bowl symbol. It's a bowl symbol. Oh, Jackie says, I think it's a stacked bowls. Yeah, it looks a little bit like that. And Busy Mom says it's the wheel of a car. Susan says, if it's black, I'm calling spooky bingo. Oh, are you doing 310? Right, Nikki has a question. Nikki says, how many stitches did you have in the first place? I'm going to restart my 710K stitching shelf. Is that a GeckoRouge piece? The last version that's now gone to sleep for the eternal rest. I think I checked earlier on. Let me have a look at my tablet, my pattern keeper here. I think I did about 70,000, something like that. So this is where I was. I did 67,000, right? Have I read it right? I can't read numbers. 67,000, but that's 2.5 years for me, full cross. So now that has gone to sleep. Maria, hello, Yogi. And those I haven't said hello, I'm so sorry. I was just too busy making mistakes. And then saying hello. If you say hello to me again, now I can read. Okay, now I have breathing space to say hello, welcome, all of you, all of you. Now this row is fine. I'm gonna mark it very mindfully. Wow, breathing Wu-Jai breaths. Okay, and all of you, Wu-Jai breaths. We're gonna stress eating, you know, chocolate and all sorts of things. Go for it then. Yes. This is very nice. And Laura says, looks like Russian nesting dolls. Let me show you what it means, why everybody is thinking that. Is this? Whatever it is I'm stitching. Who knows? Yeah, they look like stacked bowls, no? Like bowls stacked together, because on the left here, I don't know what's happening on the left here. There's a container type thing, but there are multiple containers within, and there's a little doll head with a hat. It's a puzzle. I don't know. No idea. But it's fun. It's fun. Oh no, not this one. I'm picking this one here. There. Let's not make any mistakes here. Why does it show? Oh, okay. Yes. You know, can you see this? Because you see on the left here, 16 is black. That's correct. If you look at the color swatch, but on the switch here, it's still got the original color, the random color that Saga picked when they imported this chart. So I need to be careful not to refer to this one here on the right, and look at, you know, just kind of focus on the numbers. Otherwise, I'm going to get very confused. Sarah says I'm using black too. There you go. Multiple spooky bingo happening here in a chat. Sarah says, I think it's the shadow of the nesting balls. Yes, it does look like some sort of balls stacked together. And Laura says, looks like Russian nesting dolls open up. Oh yeah, the bit on the left, right? The bit on the left, the slightly brighter color ones. Yes, all the weird and wonderful things. Oh, Nikki's doing Amy Stewart's stitching shelf. Super size. Why are you restarting then, Nikki? What's wrong with the original? What's your excuse? Have you missed the overlapping as well? I doubt it. I might be the only person ever has gone this far with the pattern and not knowing this overlapping. And I think it's a pattern. As I said, if this was a different pattern, I probably would have noticed, because it's a straight line. Not many patterns got just kind of, you know, having a straight line there and not to be noticed. This is good. I'm warming up my little hands here. And I think so far we're stitching at the correct locations. So far, so good. So far, so good. And of course, I deliberately stitch slowly so I can catch up with you. So give you sufficient time to warn me if something goes wrong. Otherwise, I can stitch really fast. You know, I can turn on my speed and just maybe do a few hundred stitches by now. But I don't want to do that. I'm deliberately stitching slowly. Okay, so just to make sure that it's all good. Susan says, long dog sampler, it's all 310. The entire project is 310. The entire project is a spooky bingo. Yes, 310 is a popular one. And by the way, I haven't mentioned Travis. Isn't that great news for Travis? I know, I'm so sorry, Travis. I got distracted talking about my tragic project here. Congratulations, Travis. Travis is a gentleman stitcher who has just had a newborn baby, I think yesterday sometime. It's a boy. It's a boy. Congratulations, Travis and Tia, his partner. Beautiful. Welcome to the world, little baby. Merrick, I think. Nikki says, I'm starting with 1/1 instead of 2 strand 10 stitches. Did you not like it? And how far have you gone? Have you gone very far? Oh, I think you mentioned stitches, haven't you? I can't remember. At some point you did. But you did that by choice, right? Because you didn't like it. It's not a fatal sort of, you know, error of some kind that you have to. I mean, raise your hands. So for those of you who saw my story on version 1, would any of you continue to stitch it, to move forward, knowing that there's an overlapping problem? Anyone? I'm wondering, because some of you might make different choices, or maybe all of you would restart the project. Let me know. It's a curious one because when I first noticed it, in my mind, I was thinking that I have to keep going because I've worked on it for so long. And then, you know, it just didn't make sense. I was thinking, now I know there's some, you know, major errors occurring on the pattern. Nikki says, I would have restarted it too. I'm busy mom as well. Yes, busy mom says, I would have just thrown it away. Everybody says restart. Michelle as well. Yes, I'm glad to hear that. But what if? So, you know, I was 8% into it. All right. So imagine if I was 80% or you were into the project about 80% before you notice something like that, would you, what would you do? Would you just keep stitching it? Because there's only 20% left. Because proportionally, you know, 8% doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a massive piece and quite a lot of stitches involved. But imagine if it was 50% or maybe 80%. Would you have done it differently? So far, so good. So far, so good. No one's screaming at me. Oh, Selen says, I would keep working on it. Really? But would you stick with the chart that's not correct? Or what will you do? Because it's not really possible to switch to the correct version and keep stitching because it, you know, everything will be offset, including the edges. So would you just stick with the, you know, the faulty one and keep stitching it? One, two, three, four. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just double checking. Okay, one stitch off here. And from here, I think I'm going to lose the center line. I don't need it anymore. So I can turn it off so it doesn't distract me. All right, so that's better. So this one's got 3 from the left. 1, 2, 3. Sarah says, restart, but probably would wait a while. Ah. Yes, I can totally understand that. Because for a few days, I was really fed up thinking about this project. So I kind of just left it, you know. I don't think totally giving up on the project ever entered my mind, not seriously. Even though in the beginning, you know, the first day or two, I was thinking, oh, I can't look at this project again. There's no chance I'm going to restart the same way from the, you know, upper left and go through the entire journey again. That much I knew. But I don't think in my mind I was, you know, totally given up at any point. I was just trying to figure out, what do I do next? What do I do with it? Hello, Ria. Welcome. Claudia says 80%. Throw it out and burn a house down for good measure. Oh, that's proper, Claudia. Yes, I think, you know, I'll probably be quite pissed off if that happens. And I wouldn't know who to blame because clearly, you know, I don't want to blame myself. I probably would blame myself. But as I said, I don't know if I could have avoided it. I really don't know. And that bit really troubled me because I go, yeah, I'm sure some of you will probably go, you should have counted, the total numbers or check every detail. But to be honest, I was just happy to have something like Pattern Keeper. And I just thought, well, it's PDF. We imported it and the markup looked good. I didn't check every detail. And I didn't count the total number of stitches. I didn't know you're supposed to do that. I just said, well, it looks okay. Everything looks kosher. It was nearly 3 years ago. If you think I'm baby stitcher now, I was an infant. I didn't know what I was doing. Still don't, as you can see, with them, with this start right here. Okay, my first piece of 310 is almost finished. And just so happen it's the last row of this block here. Nice and tidy. This is such a nice fabric to stitch. So delicate. Really light and delicate. Susan says it's probably a good job. There's so many different components. Yes, good and bad, because if it was a, let's say, landscape or something that is more kind of realistic, then you probably notice there shouldn't be a straight line over there, or maybe something's broken. But yes, I think it's got so many things going on there. It's good and bad, good and bad. 1, 2, okay. I'm going to tuck this one in under this stitch here. Oh, let me move it a little bit further here. First color is done. Claudia says, I don't see how you would have noticed it. It's tragic, but not your fault. Oh, Claudia. Yes, I kind of put 50% on me because I somehow interpret the 3 stitches as overlap, which kind of doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I can see how that happens. So I'll probably take 50% of the responsibility, but I'm kind of thinking how I could have avoided that. That's the part that kind of, get my mind working there. Next one. All right, so I think it makes sense that I move to the left, even though, so it's not strict typewriter because, oh yeah, it is, isn't it? So here is the line here. I need to be very mindful. I'm not going to draw anything, but this is the edge, this one. So the next color is 1, 2, 3, which doesn't make sense to anybody. It's just a number. So 1, 2, 3 is this color here. So 1, 2, 3, it's a brown. Gray says, the section you did complete will look really cute in a frame. Interesting. Yeah, because it's quite an odd shape, isn't it? It's kind of a triangular shape. And to be honest, I don't know if I want to frame it and look at it all the time because it just reminds me of this sad history. But maybe it would probably keep me from making more mistakes. But clearly that's not working because just from stitching, just from restarting, nothing can stop me from making mistakes. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I'll have a think about it to see, what I can, turn it into a positive thing. Maybe donate it to some sort of stitching museum and go, this could happen to you. Be careful. You don't want to be like Yogi. 2.5 years of stitching down in the loo. So far so good, I think, this one. Now I have this block, this bit as reference. It should be a little bit easier, hopefully. Susan says, have you checked your other patterns charts? Yes, not the ones I've already imported, okay? The Heaven and Earth ones, I think they're pretty good. I have not noticed anything unusual. But any new ones that I've imported to Saga, I count and count and count of the stitch number. Just make sure that the totals all add up. And that's why, the 14 counts, I finally got the digital versions. When I imported them to Saga, nothing matched up. They just all over the place. And luckily, Jen, hopefully still in the chat, fixed that. I think she's got a desktop version of Paradise. So she could do her magic and then fix it, because I couldn't do it. There's nothing I could do with the tablet version of Paradise. I fiddle with settings, just couldn't make them match. But now I think I'm relatively happy that at least the newly imported ones to Saga seems to be all good. Let me see, 1, 2. But it's a trap, it's a minefield, so it's always good to check. And no one ever told me that I'm supposed to check the total number of stitches, because I just thought, well, it's PDF. If it looks good, it looks good. One, two, three. And with Heaven and Earth patterns, I think, they're less of a problem, because they never have overlap, and all the patterns I've got from Heaven and Earth, they all start from upper left, from the first stitch of a block. I've never seen, situations like this, so it probably helps the situation a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. There. Joy says, Yogi, you could also flip the pattern upside down in Saga and stitch downwards. Oh no, Joyce, that would do my head in. I wouldn't know what I'm stitching. Would you do that? Really? Because everything will come out upside down. I have seen people, I've been wondering, because I've seen a few people on Instagram. I follow a few sort of stitching accounts, And have you seen those? Let me know. Have you seen people stitching? Those ones I've seen, they were stitching from right side to the left, but they're not doing upper right starting. They literally rotate the pattern 45 degree. So the top of the chart is literally on the right hand side, and then they stitch this way, and some of them park as well, because originally when I saw that for the first time, I thought they just take a picture and then didn't you know, turn them in the right orientation. But now I'm thinking that they're literally stitching that way. Have you seen those? I'm not imagining it, right? There's some people literally just turn for whatever reason, I don't know. They rotate a 45 degree of the pattern. I haven't seen upside down, maybe I have, but I've seen those one, they literally just stitch from the right side. That's the top of the chart, and this way. So everything is kind of sideways. How strange. Why will they do that? Now I'm just going cross country now. I've got to be very careful here. 2 stitches here. Okay, so far so good. Double check, triple check. 3 from here. 1, 2, 3, and 3 from bottom. 1, 2, 3. So far so good. It's a bit scary when you start to wander off, because that's provided if I gridded everything correctly. That's the thing about, you know, gridding fabric yourself, but one way or the other, I could mess it up. 1, 2, 3. I want 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. I think we're good. Oh, Susan says, I think we could play a game of guess the DMC color. I think that color is 3371. Oh, Susan. I bet some of you can just look at a color and go, that's whatever number. Yes. I bet GeckoRouge hate people like you because they try to hide the numbers from us. Yes, it's a bit annoying because, you know, it really mess up the preview here on Saga, because it just guesses the colors and it's all over the place. And I have to manually go into 150 colors and match and pick a color that kind of matches. I'm trying to think what I should be doing here, because this color is all over the place and I don't want to park. So I want to pick kind of a safe locations to take my thread to. But without just, you know, stopping here. I think I can probably wander a little bit further here, but without messing things up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's correct. The 2 stitches here, because these are loose stitches. Would be nice if I do them first, because otherwise I have to come back and find them. Rachel says they do that, referring to the sideways stitching, I think. Rachel says they do that because the landscape piece doesn't fit their shorter. Oh, hang on, let me highlight this. So remember I was saying that some people stitch sideways and part sideways as well. And Rachel says they do that because the landscape piece doesn't fit on their shorter scroll rolls. So they have to flip it 90 degrees, so stitch on the scroll frame. I never thought of that. But to be honest, it really depends on the ratio, I mean the shape of the piece, isn't it? I mean, majority of the not GeckoRouge, the Heaven and Earth, the height, and yes, it's wider. It's mostly landscape, but not that vastly though. Even the height is still pretty wide. Oh, so that could be one reason. But when not do your head in, is that worth it though? Because, you know, I've seen people literally part the thread this way, sideways, like that, and then they stitch like top down, and then part sideways. That's not normal. Don't do my head in. I think that's probably even worse than top down, because top down literally it just stitch a normal way, but just flip the chart upside down. But for me, that sounds a bit too risky for some reason, even though it's probably the same. But you know, everything will come out upside down. This is bad enough, okay? Top to bottom is bad enough. Imagine the mistakes I could make doing upside down. 1, 2. Just want to count again, making sure that I'm actually gridded correctly, because sometimes one block feels, one column kind of feels a tiny bit wider than the other. Maybe just optical illusion, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is good. It's good to double check, because I extend the lines following the previous block. If one block is not correct, then I'm doomed. Another one. So far so good. Oh. Oh, Ree says, I'm sure that's misspelled. Ree says, I dyed it. No, I did it too, to fit a piece on a score frame, but gave up because my brain can't take it. Exactly, Ree. I know. I can see why someone might want to do that, but no, not. I think the orientation of the piece has to be just normal. Otherwise, you're just asking for trouble. No, so in my mind, you know, even though the direction you cross, make your stitches, it's kind of okay. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's consistent. But in my mind, I'll be thinking that, you know, the crosses will be facing the wrong orientation as well. And now I'll do my head in. So, okay, I'm going to be safe here and just stop here and not go any further, even though it's very tempting with loose stitches. Because otherwise, you know, you have to come back and fill those in. So let me just do it with this stitch then. I'm going to do a tuck in. Slightly trickier with 28 counts, but doable. Right. Second color, guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pop it back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 here. And Michelle says, Yogi, on your first project, you could use it as a backing for another smaller project, or make Christmas ornaments out of it. Cut it into stars or hearts. The colors are too good to put away. But how do I do that then? If I cut it, when the edges start to fray and just come loose, wouldn't it? Because there are some shapes I can, for instance, that birdhouse, that red house, right? I could cut it out and do something about it. But I'll probably have to sacrifice some of the surrounding area. And how do I stop the stitches from coming loose altogether? I know. Yes, I'll have to come up with some ideas. And Rachel says, I couldn't flip my work sideways. I can do upside down though, but I don't like to unless it's block stitching. I'm using a certain direction. I'm used to a certain direction that I cross the stitches. Yes, exactly. I always cross from bottom up, bottom left, upper up, upper right, and the other way around from bottom to top. So even though, you know, it might look the same, but if you rotate it 45 degrees, but in my mind, I know the crosses are not in a normal direction. That is going to do my head in for sure. Right, let me pick my third color here. Yeah, I was so puzzled when I saw people doing that. I literally just thought, well, maybe they didn't know how to post on Instagram. They just they just take a photo, you know, in the wrong orientation. They just posted it, and then I saw enough of them that I thought, oh, hang on, maybe it's literally like that. So now I'm trying to decide, should I just pick whatever color I want? Because there are a few, not quite confetti, but loose stitches. Let me have a look how many. This one, for instance, just one stitch. And then the next stitch is literally 2 blocks away. Oh, there you go. It does happen as well. Literally just one stitch here. Shall I just do it then? Go on then. 72. I've got my needle board here, so should be okay. 72. Just one stitch. One stitch. I've got this one here. It's tangled. Let me see, because up to last session I was doing 10. I switched to 10 with 2 strands, so I've got quite a few needles on my board. It's got 2 strands still, so I'm gonna change it back. Oh, Rochelle says fabric glue. Okay, so it really depends on what I'm going to turn it into. I could, or I can stitch around the edges, depends on what I'm trying to turn it into, I guess. Yeah, because there are a few patterns on there. For instance, the doll as well, even though I don't like dolls, but it took a lot of work to stitch that doll. A lot of confetti, you know, and a lot of memory as well, because it was right, we're still in lockdown at that time. And a lot of memories kind of just literally, you know, etched into that piece. Just one stitch here. 72. Just one stitch. Maybe take a sip of my tea here. Susan's saying the same thing. Use adhesive iron on liner. Oh, right. So lining up of the bottom before cutting. Okay. And then maybe I can stitch on the edges, right? Use the sewing machine. Maybe turn into an ornament or something. This is a beautiful beginning, whatever it is. But I'm glad at least it's dark colors, not sort of, you know, sky or something. Oh, needed this tea. Yes, Claudia says Sergeant wears coordinating color. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can imagine that. Michelle says blanket stitch around it or incorporate it into a seam allowance on a sewing machine. Yes, the edges have to be kind of stitched down in some way or glued, and then turn them into little things. That reminds me of my sad tragedy of this piece. Right, I'm gonna go for this one then. It's a few more. Oh, I'm going around this shape. That's nice. Okay, so this one, 149. Susan, what color do you think this is? Okay, 149. Use your Neuralink implant here. You know, you got implant, you might as well use it. 149. So what color is this then, Susan? Or maybe Joyce will know. They were aliens. You just look at the color and go, 3752. And Michelle says, I was surprised to see so many faces on that piece. Some creepy dolls. I know. You know, I just struggle a little bit in my mind when I look at a pattern. And I thought, oh, there's some masks and some dolls there. And, but, you know, this piece was just haunting me. So when I saw it, yes, the doll faces and the masks was one of the things I consider, but also the price as well. I was thinking, oh, come on, Yogi, this is a hobby, you know, this is not, you know, £500 is like a pretty much down payment of a mortgage. And I was thinking, wow, this is getting out of hand, even though at that time I was, you know, I knew I was falling into this rabbit hole. I knew that I was obsessed with full coverage. So I actually, I was pretty much for, you know, when I first saw it and thinking about getting it, but instantly, within the same day, I put it out of my mind. I thought, well, no, this will be crazy. Don't do that. You know, you don't even know if you like it, how long you're gonna be doing this type of stitching. And then this pattern just came back and haunt me, literally, day after day. And occasionally, if I, you know, for some reason just found myself at GeckoRouge website, and I'll bring up this pattern and have another look. And then maybe I think it took about 2 weeks. I just decided that, you know, okay, this is a bit of investment, but if I love it so much that I think about it every day, literally fantasizing about it, there's something to it, you know. I maybe I just wanted that much. Yes, the masks and everything, but then I looked at the totality of the pattern. For some reason, every time I look at it, my heart races. Even now, sometimes when I zoom into the certain part of it, I don't feel as much, but when I look at the pattern as a whole, oh, I just love it. And yes, so I managed to stitch some slightly creepy looking masks, you know, I managed, but I thought, well, then I get to the parts like this kitty I'm going to get to on the left there, looking so lovely. And this is such a fun piece. So, you know, I managed. And the doll, to be honest, the doll on upper left there, it wasn't too bad, actually. I thought I was going to freak out, but it wasn't too bad. Probably because I was so focused on all the confetti that's involved. And by the time I finished it, I was feeling quite proud. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, you're right. Some of them looking quite creepy. Maria says, hi everyone, I'm late to the party. Yes, submit the full report. Why are you late? Hey, Maria. You have to be on time for the class. There's always replay. If you miss the beginning, you can always watch the replay. And it's never too late, really. Sarah says it's been a roller coaster. Maria, yes, it is. In a disastrous kind of way. But now it's a new beginning. Celebrate. Okay. Betty says, I wonder 435, 436, 434. All the brows. And now I've covered this bit. Maybe I can remove the blue here. It should be okay to do that. So this blue will fade away. And one more here. Rachel says, does anyone else see things outside or a time on a clock and think of a DMC number? Like this morning, 6:46 a.m. So I thought a DMC color. Not me, Rachel. Not me. I have no clue. Unless it's 310. 310 are probably the only color I know the number of. And 666. Otherwise, no. But then I'm not alien, okay? I'm not one of those aliens in the alien club. I bet some of you probably do. So far, so good. Yes, no one is screaming at me. That's good. It's always a good sign. Ira says, sometimes I do it too. And Sarah as well. All aliens. Oh, good. That's why you all belong to the same club. Oh no, Sarah says, I see confetti stitches in the trees. No. Oh no. Not just the colors. Sarah sees confetti in trees. Yes, there was a lot of confetti, I bet. Oh no. But you know, at one point, I was learning to do 3D graphic. So in my designer days, and so with 3D graphics, you have to create wireframes, right? So you have to create like a model, a basic model, and then you put textures on it. Then it starts to look like a real object or whatever you're trying to create. And for a while, when I was, learning to do 3D modeling, I literally see things in wireframes. I literally, it's like every single thing, whether it's building or people, whatever, people's faces, I start to see how I can run the wireframes through the shapes and how many, polygons will I create in order to create like, a good model. And you can't have just, maximum whatever number of polygons you want, because the more polygons the more processing time for it to render. So there's a calculation in the head that happens when you try to model something. And oh my God, it was taking over my life. Everywhere I looked, I saw wireframes. Isn't that freaky? That is, Matrix. Everything's made of wireframes. If you believe we live in a simulation. So everything is made of some sort of design underneath, some sort of wireframes underneath. Oh, hang on. I think I noticed one issue here. Why do I have this stitch? I haven't done that one. Oh, okay, that's fine. I just didn't mark it on my app. Oh, no, it's all good, all good, all good. For a moment, I thought it was, reverse stitching time. Night, Michelle. Joy says, hang on, this is very funny. Joy says, yep. 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. 13. Pewter, great. Oh my God. Joyce even knows the proper name of the thread, not just the number. That is great. Is it 413? Is that what it is? Oh no, I knew it. There's some aliens out there. Nice, Suzanne. Night. Yes. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. And Joy says, and cross-stitch fabric in the sunscreen. Sunscreen. Oh yeah, because it's like slightly mashy. Even weave. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I know. Brain is so strange. Betty says, I could count things like driveways, shadows from trees that run across the car. Count the low lives that cross overhead. Is an obsession when I can't stitch. Oh, wow. So I'm not bad. I'm not bad at all. I don't really see stitches in things yet. No, I don't. When I'm not stitching, I don't really think about it. That's why I'm not an alien. This is very nice to stitch. Oh, yes, I was wondering, low lives. I was thinking what low lives are. You're talking about me? Power lines, okay. Busy Mom says, time to get off work, so I'm saying goodbye. Have to run errands after work. Have a great stitching. Thank you, Busy Mom. Enjoy the rest of your day. Low lives. I thought, well, you're judging me. And Betty says, my counting got me into taxes, but first into counted cross stitching. Oh, are you accountant? Or yes, I can't count at all. As I have demonstrated, I am lying. One, two, three. Feels a little bit easier now. I have other stitches, few stitches as reference. So I feel less nervous. But it's normally now, when you're a little bit relaxed, you start making mistakes. So never get too relaxed. One, two, one, two. Susan, yes, I wondered that as well. No lives. How dare you? Michelle. Michelle says, good morning from Australia. Good morning. So is doing taxes kind of a hobby, like a challenge, mental challenge? I can't imagine that. So this one has got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Better save than sorry. So I'm just kind of ended up just cross country. Didn't get my typewriter out. Kind of feels right. Oh, hang on. 2. Okay. Double check. Linda, hello. Linda Anderson says, hello, Yogi. Hello, Linda. Michelle says, was just wondering if there was a live yesterday. I got home from work, sat down to watch the replay and couldn't find it yesterday. Yes, certain someone came down with a flu-ish, man flu, and so yes, I had to do my duty as a partner. So he's not going to sue me for, neglecting him. But we're back today. Linda says, what count are you stitching? This one is 28 count. 28 count, even weave. So lovely to stitch. Probably my favorite fabric. 2, 3. Yeah. Thinking whether I should take it over there. I think I could. It's not too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. I think I'm cross country. Across village. Betty. Yes, I know. Autocorrection. The autocorrection is trying to tell you something. Right, I'm going to end it here actually. Running short with a thread. Just tuck it in here. Not bad, not bad. I'm creating shapes. It's quite fun to do. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Oh, all the nerves. I think I deserve some chocolate. What do you think? I think I need to reward myself with a bit of chocolate. I'm going to go for whoops, with that strenuous start. I'm going to reward myself with a bit of a Black Forest chocolate. 70% cocoa from Montezuma's, my favorite. So, oh guys, bring out your chocolate, your power snacks, wherever you are. Susan, have you got chocolate today? There you go. Whoa. Cheers, everyone. Oh, I want to show you the star. It's got a really pretty pattern there. Really cute. Yum. Coming Stitch pattern says, good night, everyone. Thank you for great stitching time. Thank you. I hope you enjoy that disaster. That's called, me stitching. I'll see you soon. Good night. Claudia says, if anyone earned chocolate, it's you, Yogi. I know, I don't know how many calories I burned just going through that session. The psychological stress. Oh, and also the false start 3 times. Goodness, I probably lost about 1,000 calories right there. I can justify a little bit of comfort eating here. There. Gonna start build up this bottom, the line at the bottom there. There's no typewriting, but ish. I try to keep it relatively tidy. There you go. Number 45. 45. There. One of the greens. Oh, Susan is having hot chocolate. Just as well. Yes. I kept forgetting getting cacao powder. I like to make one myself. I'm not happy with this stitch, you know. It's coming off. No, I knew it. It looks weird. This single stitch here, the bottom right there, I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna do it again. Nah, this is my new start. It has to be perfect-ish. Until later. Then it will be very not perfect, I'm sure. So I'm going to erase that one. No, so I missed one stitch over here. I'm going to do that first. Okay. Fine. 45. Kimberly says, I just had a chocolate chunk cookie. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oh, that hit the spot. That's what I needed. One, two, three, four, five. 3. Rachel says, I wish I could burn 1,000 calories stitching. Get one of the GeckoRouge projects. You'll burn calories stitching it. And one more here. Very nice. Very similar brown there. A little bit darker, maybe. I'm gonna mark as I go. Okay, so it goes around this half circle there. And take another piece. Very nice. That looks very nice. The colors I picked just so happen to kind of define the shape of these, whatever I'm stitching here, bowls. Okay. You know, I'm working on pretty much the same spec. 28 counts, full cross with the Kim Jacobs piece, the quoting rim. But the fabric is different. The fabric is it's 28 counts but gridded, and it's got more volume to it. So I've been using CXC to do the full cross. I think up to this point it's kind of doable, but I can see the stitches getting a little bit full with CXC. So I think going forward, I'm probably going to switch to DMC with that piece, because I haven't made that much progress with that piece. And I think switching to DMC will probably help. Because I always know if I kind of, because every stream I kind of just speak to my whips and try to pick the one I want to work with, or want to work on each night. I always notice if I kind of subconsciously try to avoid certain projects, I know there's a problem there. And I like to find solutions. And I love that piece. I think it's just the stitches starting to get a little bit crowded because of CXC. So I think switching to DMC will help. There. Try not to cut the fabric. Claudia says, my husband is almost home and I need to go and sort out what to throw together for dinner. We can't live on chocolate alone. Thank you. Thanks for another great stitching session. Hope everyone has a great day. Claudia, enjoy your dinner. I'm sure it'll be quite delicious, whatever you're making for your hobby. And I'm glad you enjoy the session, and we'll see you soon. So this one's only got one stitch. I'm gonna leave that for now and go for this one then. Right, it's quite nice. So I'm picking colors that are kind of just following the outlines. It's always more fun to do. 6-5, 6-5. The new piece. The brown. It's like the other week when I started the Valentine's Nook twice. I don't know what's going on with September. Spring's supposed to be the season for renewal, rebirth. And for me, it's a September. But so when I restarted that piece, I kind of hesitated for a while, thinking whether I should restart the first time. And then once I made up my mind, I actually felt quite good because you feel like it's a new start. But then I realized that maybe I need to restart again. You know, I don't know. On one hand, you think, oh, there's a slight sense of failure. You know, you go, well, I tried it once. Am I going to accept that it's not working again? Or for whatever reason, it's just not working out. But then once you process that and decide to restart again, it's exciting. So sometimes it takes a little bit of courage to restart, but once you're kind of ready for it, you know, it's a restart, but it feels like a new start. It's a brand new departure, brand new journey. So it's not always a bad thing. And with this piece, to be honest, the whole reason I switched from full cross, which I was doing for, you know, over 2 years, and I decided to switch to 10 stitches. Well, looking back, maybe somewhere in my mind, I was, you know, I was feeling a little bit fatigued with the piece. I was just trying to find a new way, new motivation to stitch it. So, and now I'm literally restarting the piece. Maybe it's not a bad thing. It makes me feeling excited. This piece again. I mean, it's quite a tricky thing to do and probably quite risky. I don't know if anybody does it, but you know, for instance, a large piece like this, if you can find a correct location on, you know, where to stitch, then it would be quite fun to do it from all 4 corners and the center at the same time. You know, you can just, you know, for instance, if you start from upper left and then you get bored of it, can you go to the other side and start from upper right? And then if you get bored, you can start from the center, if you can find the center accurately, or from the bottom, anywhere. Will not be so much more fun than having to stitch in order. You know, for some people that might be good if you're just happy doing that, but sometimes people give up on projects because they kind of just, you know, stuck in a rut and they don't know how to get out of it. And when I say they, I mean me, pretty much. And I think I was there a little bit with the little cake shop as well, the Amy Stewart piece. I was kind of, I worked on that piece for quite a while, and then just somehow just couldn't find motivation to do more. And then Saga came along, so I imported the pattern to Saga and started working a different method, you know, mean to max and stuff like that. And then it became fun again. So sometimes we just need to kind of just switch, you know, change around and not feel bad about it. Nikki says you can with ECC. Nikki hasn't given up trying to lead me stray to extreme cross country. Do you mean the tightness of the thread? No, I don't think that helps. Whether it's ECC or not? Is that what you're referring to? Or maybe just changing things up a little bit? Nikki's trying to get everybody to do ECC. Sarah says, Jan, the caffeinated crafter has one. Started in all corners. Oh, started in all corners and a bit in the center. Really? Is it a large piece? And has it worked out? Because the worst thing would be, you know, you get like one block or whatever, even one stitch off. I'll probably get very upset. I think if you can find the correct location, I guess it's probably doable. But that's the problem. That's the caveat, isn't it? It's like, can you find the correct location and meet at the center at some point? And everything all lined up. Because that would be quite fun. Maybe I'll try that for a smaller project. Kind of like a mini or something as a challenge. But with larger pieces, I don't know. I wouldn't feel confident doing that. So Betty knows about it as well. And she's done too. Has it worked out? That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? If there's a kind of a way to make sure that you can find the correct location from the corners, it's actually quite fun, wouldn't it? Because you can just switch to any corner you want, and the center as well. 1, 2, 3. How about that, Nikki? Can you extreme cross country from all corners and the center? With your new piece, yes, the supersize one. Go for it. 3, 2, 1, go. Nikki says, no, start anywhere you want. Well, you kind of can't, can you? You have to start from somewhere. Well, I mean, technically you can start anywhere as long as you can start from the location that is, you know, that's kind of correct location. You can just pick a pattern, part of a pattern, and as long as you can actually identify the correct location. That's the tricky part, I think. 1, 2, 3. Maybe some sort of technique. I mean, maybe Nikki can come up with one, because Nikki goes extreme cross country, right? So technically, you can pick one color that's going to take you to a certain location as you stitch that color through. Then maybe that's one way of identifying. I think Nikki's kind of doing that, because I've seen her webs. She will literally have one color with, you know, one stitch, like a long line taking her. So she's probably using that as a way to identify her location, and then she will land somewhere quite far away and start stitching in that area. Maybe that's one way of doing it. But still, you need to be able to stitch all the way there rather than just through counting, you know, because counting is just risky. 65. Joy says you can do it like most people do, a jigsaw puzzle. All the outline blocks first, all around the pieces. Oh, I see what you mean. So you stitch the borders. But that's pretty boring, isn't it? Unless you can find the borders. Yes, I suppose you could. Yes, you're right. If you just stitch along the borders and then just pick whatever spot that you're interested and cross country down a little bit or sideways or wherever, if you're coming from the side, yeah, I suppose you could. Yes, I think that's a good strategy. Nikki says, I extreme cross country, the black in the piece I'm restarting. Which one? Not Sweet Shop. Did you stitch 310 with the bookshop as well? And you did that with tent, and now you're switching to full cross. Is that correct? But you love your tent. Oh, 2-strand. You don't like 2-strand. Okay, fair enough. Rose says, I do believe that it's Jan 1 million plus stitch project Sarah is talking about, so it looks pretty good. 1 million? What? You mean like stitching from all directions? From corners and center, 1 million stitches? Hello? Alien Club, there you go. Nikki says, now, and I can go anywhere now with a sweet shop, but where are you going then? What's next? Are you picking the next, the largest number of stitches with the color? Or what's your game plan from here? I haven't seen your whip of that piece for a long time. Here we go. Oh, 110, 110. 110 has got a lot of stitches. Look at that. 110. $110 is a dark brown. Go on then. What color is it? Here we go. It's quite dark. It's almost brown, black, but it's not black. It's brown. Dark brown. Chloe C says, the puzzle way sounds interesting. Might have to try that. Yeah, and I think that sounds sensible as well. Because if you're coming from the corners, you have to find the corners, don't you? But if you just stitch along the edges, even though you probably need to be quite patient, because for a long time you probably be stitching the borders. But it doesn't mean you have to complete the borders, right? You're just using that as a guide, and you can stop at any point and start cross country into whatever. Oh, that sounds fun actually. Now come to think of it, I could probably do that, can't I? If I start extending the border from the bottom and cross country, I can literally do it with this piece, Joyce. There you go. Thank you, Joyce. That sounds like fun actually. So, I can go either side and just start with the border, or not filling in completely, because as long as I know where I'm going, as long as I know these stitches are correct and use the stitch ones as reference, it doesn't mean I have to fill in the border 100%, right? I'm just using it as a way to make sure that I'm in the right location. Oh, I like that. I literally just like that so much. Yes, that sounds adventurous. And I can apply the method here. And then, you know, I can just go either side, and then I can do the side border as well if I get there. It's going to take a while, okay? But yes, I like that. And I can cross country at any point. Nikki, do you like it? I like it. Yes, I mean, stitching in different method, literally, you know, bring a new lease of life to a lot of projects like I've done. That's why I change methods so frequently, because I'm just constantly trying to find sort of new challenges and just make them exciting, you know. Iris says maybe 3371. I believe that's probably what it is. It's one of those really dark browns. Joy says start with the top row, then the first column, yeah, and the last column, and the bottom row. Hang on, let's digest this. Joy says start with the top row. Okay, the top one, the first column, the one on the side, and the last column on the right, and the bottom row. So you're thinking completing the border. Well, if you're patient, because at the borders, it probably takes some time to stitch and to fill in all borders, and maybe for a long time you won't be able to see anything. You know what I mean? So the way the sort of method that you mentioned, because really, in order when you switch location of on the fabric, it's really all about finding the correct location. So for instance, if you switch corner, for instance, it's very tricky, right? And very risky. But if you follow the edges, using all the stitches there as a guide to help you to get to the second location. Yeah. But Joyce is saying that literally just fill in the outer border. Like a column width of the piece. That's a challenge too. I'm just thinking I probably, run out of patience. If I have to stitch with a column, good luck. So now I can just do the colors I'm interested, and I don't necessarily have to fill in the entire area, and I can just keep moving and find a cat. Why not? The orange cat. That's my plan. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I think that sounds good. I can probably get to the cats a lot sooner. Yes, that sounds fun. Rachel says it looks like 3371. Oh, everybody agrees. Betty also says 3371. Serena says 99. Oh, 99. Serena is in Belgium, so It's 1 hour ahead of me. Well done, Serena. And night-night. Nikki says, I did that for a couple of pieces. Which one? The border stitching. Oh, we need a name for it. It's much easier than trying to explain. Border stitching. And we have to compile a dictionary. Travis! Oh, Travis here. Travis is here. Hang on. Travis is in the chat. Travis says, just wanted to let you guys know, Tia, Merrick, and I are home now from the hospital. Everyone's happy and healthy. Yeah! Amazing. Everyone is good. Everything went well. Congratulations, Travis and Tia. Yes, we were wondering. We knew that you were waiting for the baby to drop. Wonderful. Rochelle says frame stitching. Oh, that's very, yes, that says exactly what it is. Frame stitching. I like it. Yeah, stitching frames. And if you're stitching frame from the border and then cross country into the center and random direction, it can be deranged frame stitching. Right? It's a variation. Glenn, GeckoRouge says 3371. Glenn, why do you have bracket GeckoRouge? Are you from GeckoRouge? Try not to scare me. I have just butchered this piece. Or maybe Glenn loves GeckoRouge a lot. No way. It's Glenn official from GeckoRouge. And Glenn's first message is 3371. There you go. Then Glenn must be right, Glenn. Susan, yes, Susan's wondering as well. Glenn, the actual GeckoRouge. Glenn says, that's me? Is Glenn? No. Not that I don't believe you. Glenn, that's me. Yes. It's got GeckoRouge name on it. It's got to be real. Glenn, if you're actually from GeckoRouge, no words, okay? Please don't tell them what I've done to the project. Hush, hush. I'll pay you $5 to keep it quiet. And oh dear. Rose says, that's so exciting. Congratulations on the new baby, Travis and Tia. Absolutely. And I love the name as well. Merrick, is that correct? I butcher names all the time, so I probably butcher that as well, but it reads like Merrick. Rochelle says, I like that deranged frame stitching. Yes, exactly. So it's like frame stitching sounds really daunting, right? You have to stitch the frames, but you're allowed to be deranged. Yes, I think deranged should be a variation of all methods. So I'll probably do that. Travis says, hi guys, have a fun stitching session. Maybe tomorrow when Merrick and Tia are napping, we'll join the stream. I know I love the fact that Travis, when you post on Facebook, you know, you got a baby arrived and then you were stitching a wolf piece. And I'm thinking, that's great. You've got a boy and your piece, the wolf piece has got two wolves, right? That's you and Merrick. That's so wonderful. Really appropriate. Yes, I hope to see you here. And please send my love to Tia and Merrick as well. That's so wonderful. So far, so good. Very nice. So, Glenn, tell me, are you official? Are you going to report me to GeckoRouge and get me arrested? Please don't. I did my best. So I'm literally just following the curve of the shape here. So this method is called deranged bow stitching. If any design that's got a bow or bows, you can just stitch however you want. So Travis is stitching on a piece from Dimensions, I think. It's got two wolves. And how wonderful. It's a boy. So two wolves in the house. And I hope the toad is doing well, the newly adopted. Oh, Glenn. Glenn is from GeckoRouge. Says, your live stream popped up on YouTube. It's algorithm. If you search for GeckoRouge on a frequently basis, it probably pop up. And so Glenn has just jumped in. Looking great so far. Thank you for sharing, Yogi. Oh, please don't tell Glenn what happened in the beginning of the stream, okay? Yes, just keep this wonderful memory of this perfect picture here, Glenn. Yes, everything's going so well, Glenn. No problem there. There's no restarting or anything, and there's no butchering of the pattern at all, right? Chat, guys, please verify and just you know, so Glenn is not going to worry, and please just tell Glenn not to rewind, you know, not to watch replay, please. Yes, everything's going well. Look at this. I'm starting from the bottom center, okay, Glenn? Please reassure Glenn, nothing weird is happening, okay? Oh, yes, yeah, Glenn, Sarah says nothing to see here, okay? And Rochelle says, don't stream frog, Glenn. What is that? And Michelle says, Glenn, thanks for producing beautiful patterns for us. There you go. Absolutely fine. It's peaceful streaming here. And let's change the subject. Cleo says, am I the only one who has scratches of needles everywhere? On me? Do you mean anywhere that's not on your hands? You almost think I have a cat. What? What do you do with your needles? And also, cross-stitching needles are blunt. What are you doing, Cleo? I'm slightly worried. You mean scratch? What do you mean scratches all over me? I mean, what do you do with your needles? Oh, Cleo is getting out of control. Yes, please reassure Glenn. All is well. All is well. Nothing to see here. And to be honest, I don't know how many people are actually stitching this piece. I know there's one viewer here. Is it Gretty? I haven't seen her for ages. She bought it after watching my stream. She loved it so much. She got 25 count as well. But I think, if I remember correctly, she decided to get another fabric and stitch on 28 as well. So it's the same spec as me, even though I started with 25. But to be honest, because these are made to order kits, so I don't know how many people out there actually stitching this piece. Betty says, Glenn, did you design the bizarre box? Or I'm sorry, I'm not sure I remember the correct name. Glenn, are you the chart creator? Now, interrogation of Glenn has started, okay? We want maiden names and credit card numbers, you know. Now, Glenn will regret ever, you know, coming up to the chat. Now, everyone wants to know, who are you, Glenn? Hello, Maddie. Cleo says, well, I just started cross-stitching a couple of months ago. Since the very start, I accidentally go with the needle across my arm and have a long line on my leg. What? So it's just me having this problem? Yeah. You know, Ilio, I'm pretty clumsy myself, you know, and I have many mishaps with my projects. I don't think I stab myself randomly all over my body. So yeah, it's a little bit unique. What about guys? Do you have needle injuries all over your body, like cat scratches? It will be a new phenomenon. And also the needles are supposed to be sharp as well. So maybe get cross-stitching needles. That's blunt at the tip. And just make sure you don't stab your eyes. That can still do some damage. Betty says, I've never had that problem. I'm very polite, Betty. Betty's like going, what? Yes. Why would you stab yourself on the thigh or the legs? How long is your thread, Elio? Are you Nikki, really? Is it actually you, Nikki? Because, you know, extreme cross country, she probably have like endless thread from a comb. She'll be stabbing herself left, right, and center. Wouldn't surprise me, Nikki. Nikki is probably covered with needle stitching related injuries. Rochelle says no scratches, just the colors on each thumb. Oh, that could happen, yes. That's more likely. Or some sort of repetitive injuries. But not stab wounds. Oh, yes. I think we need to look into Elio's situation. You know, I'm slightly worried. It's not the type of injuries you should be sustaining from cross stitching. Elio says, I bought a packet of needles that are supposed to be cross stitching for cross stitching, but they're sharp. Then they're not really for cross stitching. Maybe they're embroidery. I know some people choose to use pointy ones, but that's a choice. Normally, you wouldn't use sharp ones. Yeah, normally, you know, cross stitching needles, they would say blunt tips. So, you know, it just prevents you from stabbing through the fabric. So, you know, technically, you shouldn't, you should, you shouldn't cause injuries. Oh dear. Yes, Elio, you need to come to the chat more often. We'll guide you. We'll guide you to the light, okay? No stabbing injuries from stitching. We're peaceful. We shouldn't be drawing blood when we're stitching. Elio says this is not a safe hobby. Not the way you do it, Elio. Yes, Steve says sounds like Elio needs some ball tip needles. Yes, that would be, yes, it would be very hard to stab yourself. You can still poke your own eyes. The way Elio is stitching, I'm slightly worried. I think some sort of injuries can still occur from the sound of it. We need to examine the way she stitches. Dear Almighty. Yes, Betty's autocorrection is going wild. We get it, Betty. Yes, Betty, blame the hobby. Yes, Betty's got is you know Betty's played by autocorrection, and now Betty's saying hubby here bumping my elbow like it's funny. Yes, maybe because he bumped you, so you do autocorrection. Your autocorrection just go wild. Yes, always blame the husband. Yes, I like it. Rochelle says, well, Rochelle is being a little bit of detective here. She says, maybe Elio's parking with two long threads, but it still shouldn't, yes, probably long threads. That's why maybe Elio is actually, Nikki. The stitching from a cone, like endless threads. Just keep going. So yeah, you just stab yourself and tangle in threads as well. Very dangerous way of stitching. See, Elio, the way I'm doing it, watch and learn. Other than destroying the project itself, okay, that's one way of doing it. I do not stab myself. Not generally. Look at the needles here. It's quite blunt. Okay, as long as you don't poke your eyes, you're quite safe there. Oh, reassurance from Glenn. Glenn says, "Oh, good. I won't rewind. I'm sure end result will be worth it. It no matter what did or didn't happen." Yes, Glenn. Thank you. The fiver I gave you is definitely working. Yes. Oh, that's a relief. That's a relief. Even Elio's mom is worried. She says, my mom was also confused about my scratches. Oh dear. Let me pick another color. I could just keep going with this one, actually. It's got quite a few here. It's quite fun to just keep going. Why not? Let me pick another 110. I think is one of the dark browns. Whatever number that's supposed to be. 110. Not 110. 110. Elio. Elio says, I have safety glasses on. What are you doing there? Are you doing some sort of lab experiment? Elio, stitching is a safe activity, okay? You shouldn't need protective gear. Well, having said that, you still need some sort of harness and GPS device and helmets if you go crazy cross country like Nikki. But unless that's why Elio may be Nikki. Maybe Nikki's coming on here to troll us. No, I'm kidding. Elio, you have my sympathy. Since you started stitching, you have sustained various injuries, cat scratches, and you have to wear protective gear in order to keep yourself safe. And even your mom is worried. Joyce, night. Joyce is going to bed. So, sweet dreams. Joy's doing really well. This is 12:30 over there. Well done. 99. Oh, Elio says, I heard in a video that the thread should be as long as your arm. Oh dear. How long is your arm, Elio? I'm really worried. Are you like, when you're standing up, can you touch the ground with your fingertips? That's one test to check if you have arms that's unusually long. No judgment from me. Yes, well, I think as long as the arm is kind of long for normal human beings. I often say forearm, my forearm. So I've got, I'm not alien, so I've got normal length forearm up to my middle finger. But then it really depends on your body. It might vary a lot. I don't know what kind of YouTube video you've been watching, Elio. You're stabbing yourself with your sharp needles, and then your threads are as long as your arms. I mean, provided you don't have like super short arms. That's probably quite long. You need to change the channel, okay? Unsub, whatever you're watching, watch this one. Will guide you to the light. Safety first, stitch safely, Elio says, I'm only 160 centimeter and your arms is as long as your height. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, no judgment from me. We're born unique, Elio. It's fine. It's fine. Glenn says, Glenn, are you a chart creator? You need to clarify before you go, okay? You're not allowed to go to bed. So people, the chat is wondering whether you're a chart creator. And Glenn says early start tomorrow as working on GeckoRouge kits. It's official, so I have to vanish now too. Thanks again, and I have subscribed. Look out for the next update. Good night, everyone. Yes, night to Glenn. Okay, Glenn is probably in the UK, and we will continue to interrogate him next time. Okay, Glenn, do come on here. Okay, do not lurk. Do not lurk. All right, night, Glenn. Oh, that's Glenn from GeckoRouge, and he thinks everything's all good. Okay, no words. All right. It's between you and me. No one else. No one else need to know. Good night, Glenn. Oh, Susan, very good point. Susan say, I think Elio missed the part you double the thread. Ah, so she's going full length. But even with my forearm to my middle finger, I still fold in two though. That is still quite long though. So, and also, Elio probably has unusually long arm as well, even though she's 160 centimeter. And no judgment from me, okay? And embrace our uniqueness of the body. It's okay if you have super long arm, but yes, it might be a little bit of a problem if you have your thread as long as 160 meter. Not meter, a centimeter. That could be a bit of a problem. And also, if your arms are really long, yes, you could stab your legs, can't you? It can probably happen quite easily. Yes. See, Elio is so positive. Elio says, thanks for the body possibility for aliens. Well, we have aliens in the chat all the time. And not only so, Elio, we have a special club for them. So we are embracing, aliens completely. We have special clubs for them, and we just put them in there to protect the community. Okay, some of them are slightly scary. They stitch really fast, and that, you know, that shouldn't be allowed. So but I'm sure you're okay. I'm sure you're okay. And you know, having really long arm is not a problem. We don't ban those things. Oh, unless it's so long. The arms are so long, they're like tentacles. Like tentacles. We generally ban octopus. Okay, octopus stitching, seafood stitching is generally against the policy of the channel here. But otherwise, you know, we do not judge. We do not judge. You know, this channel is calamari free, okay? And Betty says, Elio, some measure the thread from the tip of any finger to the elbow, which I do, yes. I do use longer strands, but you could try shorter lengths, yes. If you have unusually long arms, then maybe use, I don't know, other body parts as measurements. Maybe the arm isn't the best one. Sarah says, I use shorter lengths because it's more comfortable to stitch with frame on my lap. And I like your frame, Sarah. I've never seen those ones before. Sarah's got those frames, there's double-sided. You can, they're different frame sizes, aren't they? The hoop sizes. You can flip them upside down, depends, and just prop it on the lap. I've never seen, you know, I've never used it before. Didn't even know such frames existed. Is that the one you've been using since 1974, Sarah? If so, maybe they're discontinued. I don't think you can get them anymore. It's an antique piece. Captain Squirrel. Is that a crab, or is that some sort of seafood related object? Oh, good. Our messages are getting through to Cleo. Cleo says, I have a section that I only need to do a couple of stitches, so I'm already using shorter threads, but still, still bring my fingers one step at a time, Elio, one step at a time. You know, the repetitive stabbing is not good, all right? Stitch safely. Sarah says the frames are available on Amazon. Oh, I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe it's a collector's item. I know, there's so many different types of aliens, you know. Some people stitching without grid. Oh, man. They probably have built-in GPS device, you know, so they don't need grid. No gridding for them. They just know. Nine, Sarah Vian. Good to have you. And I'm checking my time as well in the UK. Oh, time flies. Yes. Now we're about 11:45 here. So I've got a bit of a thread left and a few stitches at the bottom. So I might make these ones my last ones, you know, these highlighted ones. And you should know by now, regulars, what we do at the end of every session. Okay, if you're new to the chat, we play a little game called Guess My Stitches, okay? And as it says on the tin, literally, you guess the number of stitches I've done for this session, okay? And you might be wondering, you go, well, I don't know, I just joined the chat. It's okay. It does not require any skills. Look at the chat. They have no skills, but they join every day, okay? All you have to do is to come up with a number on top of your head and just throw it in the chat and see if it sticks. Sometimes it does. And sometimes you win. So, and if you get to win, oh, it's glorious. All sorts of things happen. You get to enjoy the buffet with me, okay? I eat most of them, but you know, you get to have a few pieces. But most of all, you receive the admiration and respect of the chat, okay? It's priceless. You can't get it anywhere else. You get it here live on Yogi Stream, okay? So if you're lurking, you think, well, I don't know what to say. Just come forward and lurk for 2 seconds, throw a number out, and you can go back to lurk again. I will not take it away from you. Lurking is your birthright. Okay? You have full control here. But just come forward and throw a number out. And let me bring on my state-of-the-art Guess My Stitches machine here. This is NASA technology. Collaborating with Elon Musk, we came up with this idea, okay? And I worked on this machine in my basement. Some power tools were involved. And this is the result. You get to enjoy it, okay? And put in your numbers. And as I stitch the final stitches, you still have some time, okay? You can think about it. Maybe do some mental calculations. How many stitches has Yogi done today? I can replay it in my head, stitch by stitch. Not counting the the false start, okay? It's you know, we're transparent here. There's no cheating when it comes to numbers of stitches. And you can trust me, all right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 stitches, all right? So give you a few moments to come up with a number, and maybe you win. And many of the people in the chat have won multiple times. I don't know how they do it. Maybe they cheat. I don't know. But we don't care. And you don't have to be precise. As long as you're close, the one's got closest number wins. That's how it works, okay? We don't care about position. If you're close, that's good enough for us. All right, I've got a few more to go, so bear these stitches in mind, okay? Every stitch counts. Every stitch counts. And you could be the winner tonight. Let me mark as I go. Where are we exactly? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. I've got 6 stitches to go. So add 6 on top of your final total, okay? They can make all the difference between winning and losing. Here we go. The last 3, guys. Three, 2, and the last one. There. Beautiful. Let me end this right here. And for this piece, I probably do not need to give you any recap. You suffered this process with me, okay? So you know what happened. And if you don't, watch the replay. All right? So this is starting point. This is at the bottom, center, from this point here. And I started just pick one color at a time in no particular order and then fill in to this area here. So that's what we've got. So it's right here. Everything's right here. And your guess is just as good as mine. Let's have a look. And the first submission, Kimberly, 311, Rochelle, 159, Elio, 140. Elio probably have some alien power. She might be the winner. So watch out, everyone. And Captain Squirrel, 237, Betty, 212, Chloe C, 125, and Rachel, 219, Laura, -7, 230, -7. Laura, we're friends, okay? And Maddie says 230, Susan, Susan 250, Arid, Stitches 204, Steve 272, and Sandy, come forward, 202. Guys, are you ready? Let's have a look. Boom. Let me turn this off here. And let's look at the number. So this is at the very, very bottom. Okay, this is our new journey here, or my new journey. You're just suffering with me. Yeah, that's how many stitches involved. Like a lot. I'm literally at the bottom here, at center. So let's have a look at the number. Are you ready? Go. Guys, is that correct? Really? 417? Is that possible? 417. Is that correct? Yeah, I've done 417. This is 417. Really? I'm shocked. I'm sure you are too, guys. Do you think this is correct? I am a little bit worried. Have I marked anything I shouldn't be marking? I haven't, have I? Let's have a look. It's all good. Nothing else is marked. Yeah. So this is like a lot more than I thought. Look at this blob. 413. Really? Let me have a look. Wow. I cannot count, but yes, 417. So literally no one is close, but who's the closest? Yeah, I'm a bit shocked. Is that 400 stitches? But there's a lot of, same color. So that was kind of fast. And this blob is probably, I don't know. Really? It just doesn't look like it. And, yeah, so who's the closest? Who's got the highest number here? Let's have a look. So Kimberly 311, is there anyone higher than that? I think 311 is the closest. So Kimberly, yes. No, Kimberly, you're the star. You're the star. Yes, I wouldn't know that's 400. Would you? Clearly no one did. Yes. You know how it works by now? Bring on the spread. Okay, let's celebrate with Kimberly. And Kimberly has faith in me. None of you, the rest of you didn't. And yes, I'm shocked actually. That's 400. Shocker, yes. So bring on the spread here. So let's have a look. We've got lovely healthy options from Sarah and Laura. Very nice selection there as usual. And Betty says you counter cheated. Betty, we're friends. You were my favorites up to this point, okay? And now Kimberly's my favorite. And Captain Squirrel, very healthy. And Elio, the first spread from Elio, amazing. That is very substantial. No squid involved. I'm just checking. Or Elio will be banned. And Rachel, no calamari. Okay. And Chloe as well. Very, very nice. And Sarah has got more. Yes, Sarah is very generous. Yes, guys, it's been quite a journey today. Okay. Yes, Kimberly, you can take a little shrimp and maybe a piece of pizza as well, but not too much because the rest there is all for me. Okay. It's a number I won with Sunday night. Rachel says 311 is the number I won on Sunday night. Well, you know, different days, different winner. It doesn't work like that. But yes, that's the spirit, you know, fight and try and try again. Maybe one day it will be you, Rachel. So yes, everyone, thank you so much for tonight. It's been so much fun. And thank you for enjoying this new start with me, or restart. And I'm really enjoying so far. So I'm going to explore different way of stitching and share it with you. So Elio, stop stabbing yourself, and everyone else, enjoy the rest of your day. And from sleepy London town, Yogi signing out. Night night, everyone. Good night. Have a lovely rest of the day and night. Bye.